number 14, Avel Chitundu. Just number 19, Majori Mulenga. Just number 21, Mabel Bwala. Just number 22, Jacqueline Chomba. Just number 24, Grace Kapansa. The coach for Zesco Ndola girls is Florence Ngata. And for Mamelodi Sundowns, just number 1, Andile Dlamini. Just number 5, Kutso Pila. Just number 6, Notkolo Kasani. Just number 8, Isabella Ludwig. Just number 12, Bambanani Mbani. Just number 15, Lelona Daweti. Just number 19, Kolosa Biana. Just number 21, Nontla Mtandi. Just number 22, Lebohang Ramalepe. Just number 25, Karabo Dlamini. And just number 26, Rifilwe Tolakele. The coach for Mamelodi Sundowns is Zolile Godfrey Sapula. The referee for this match is Enes Gumbo from Malawi. Assistant referee number 1, Luungo Tsohang from Botswana. Assistant referee number 2, Kakali Mbibo of Botswana. Fourth official is Sonia Tsenjoy Sepe of Botswana. The commissioner of this match is Dr. Brenda Kunda of Zambia. The video assistant referee of this match is Brighton Chimene of Zimbabwe. And the assistant referee is Evelyn Agustinas of Namibia.
A very good evening and welcome to the final curtain that has been dropped at this beautiful stadium, Gaborone United. It has been a frantic 9 days. 9 days of scintillating football. 9 days of you getting to know your players. We welcome the final, which is Zesco Ndola Girls of Zambia. They are up against the South Africans in Mamelodi Sundowns. We talk of revenge. We talk of payback time. Whichever way we talk of. Both teams coming into this match with 100% record. But at the end of the match, someone will have a record that they don't want to remember, being the bridesmaid. This is the third meeting between the two sides. Beautiful skies, lovely still evening. The floodlights are out. The wind is blowing at about 4 or 5 kilometers, and 24 degrees is what it is out here. But remember, as the players go out, they go out and that temperature does rise. A beautifully prepared pitch. This is a final. This is a final, and waiting in anticipation are all those who have put the hard work, all those who want to say well done to the people of Botswana for showing up, for turning up and being a part of such a tournament. Here is a man who needs no introduction to football in Gaborone or in Botswana. That is Zech. You're then looking at the fans that have traveled from across the border, some local ones, and that being the COSAFA president and also the president of Botswana Football Association.
Right, good evening. I am Miss K. As you see, the two teams working in, preparing for the next 90 minutes, which if doesn't give us a winner, we are going to go for extra time. But the road to the final, it all started with Zesco Ndola girls beating Rental Queens 5-2. Lesotho Defence Force, they were beaten by Zesco Ndola girls 1-0. Gaborone United, they were beaten by Zesco Ndola girls 2-0 to wrap up Group A. And in the semi-finals, it was Zesco Ndola girls beating Silver Strikers by 2 goals to win.
We then look at Mamelodi Sundowns starting like a house on fire in the group stages, winning their first match from by an 8-0 score, which still remains the highest margin in this tournament against Nsingizini Hot Spurs. They went on a 3-0 rampage of Silver Strikers. They did not stop there in the group stages. They went on to Costa de Sol of Mozambique and a 4-1 win for the team from South Africa. And it is then the semi-finals in which Gaborone United received a hammering from the African champions, 2 times African champions. But here we are with 2 teams in scintillating forms, 2 teams that are making sure that you get the best of the best. We are to be spoiled by the tactical awareness, the technical awareness of coaches who have made sure their job is done. That is the match ball, and one that should be making sure that the girls give out their best stuff. That is some of the stout and some of the goals scored there by Mulenga and Mubanga. Not forgetting in the semi-finals, it was Endless Piri coming through and bringing in Charity also onto the score sheet. If she doesn't score, she's part of assists. So Mubanga getting high fives from Endless Piri. If you look at Silver Strikers with Kumalo, looking to find another way through, and unfortunately for Endless Piri, just ricocheting, and I think closing her eyes and saying, I have a record, I want to forget her own goal. Sundowns on the other side, absolutely ruthless against Gaborone United. It was the home girl. That is Rifilwe Tolagele making sure she got onto the score sheet. Amanda Mtandi helping on to highlight her presence in the match. Then it was Isabel Luding taking the ball away from Peresi, and that to make it 3-0. They were not done yet. Ball coming through from the left-hand side. Ronald Donnelly releasing Wendy Shongwe.
The benches of the 2 sides are eager to see how this game is going to roll out. The warm-up of Zesco Ndola girls preparing for the big clash against the Mamelodi Sundowns. They got here, they did the warm-up. They are warm enough, I believe, to take on Masandawana. Players that you are seeing in your pictures there, players like Ndlovu, players like Chitundu, Endless Piri, one player to obviously have an eye on this evening against the Mamelodi Sundowns. She has been phenomenal in the Zesco Ndola girls side. Look at the goalkeepers of Namonje to see how they are going to do. The boots are ready to give us the best of the finals, talking about the COSAFA CAF qualifiers. Masandawana also, they did the warm-up. You see players there, your Rifilo Tolagele, Bambanani Mbani, as you see. That's the beautiful trophy held by the former captain of the mess, Bebeto Bona Mosetla. This is the trophy that one of the teams between Sundowns and the Zesco Ndola girls will be walking home with.
What a moment it is for Bebeto. Congratulations to her. This is what you want to see. The legends of the game being part of the game. As the 2 teams make their way onto the field, this is nothing but the best of the best in the southern region. And they line up in front of the dignitaries for one last lap as that curtain comes down. Bebeto with the trophy. She knows what it's all about. She knows that this is a moment that Botswana would cherish. This is a moment that she, in her lifetime, can say, I did it. This championship that has changed hands on many occasions. This time we ask the question, will it go to South Africa or will it go to Zambia? The 2 teams showing respect. 2 teams that come in with encouragement, and 2 teams that promise you to buckle up on your seats and make sure you are part of this historic moment. Zesco Ndola girls powered by a company that wants to make sure that this is the powerhouse of South Africa, southern region football. And for Mamelodi Sundowns, they've tasted glory. They've won the best. It's Endless Gumbo who is given the responsibility to keep an eye on this match. She is supported by Luengo Tohang of Botswana and Kakalo Mbiko of Botswana. That is the 2 assistants. And Tsepo is the match commissioner, and VAR, it is Brighton Chimene and Evelyn Augustinius. If called upon, Brighton and Evelyn will make sure that they make the clear decision. Well, looking at the two captains, which is Avel Chitundu for Zesco Ndola Girls, and it is the captain of Mamelodi Sundowns, which is Ramalepe. She is one of those players that you cannot leave out of your mouth. The lineup, Annie Namonje, she's kept her position in the last two games. Pauline Zulu, Endless, Esther Mochinga, Endless Piri, Charity Mubanga, Tandi Wendlovu, Avel Chitundu, Majorie Mulenga, Mabel Bwalia, Jacqueline Chomba, and Grace Kapanza. Florence Nkatsia, who is the coach, this work is done and dusted. She could call on Letitia Lungu, Melody Kipimbi, as well as Dorothy Yamba.
Masandawana, the formation rather of Zesco Ndola Girls coming up with the 4-3-3 formation, looking at players like Mulenga, Muchinga, Chitundu in that midfield, and also having made two changes. But Mamelodi Sundowns, Andile Dlamini, Khotopila, Notkolo Setkani, Isabella Ludwig, Bambanani Mbani, Kolisa Biyana, Mtandi, Ramalepe, Tola Kele will be definitely the player to watch. Sapula on the bench, Rabale, Kadia, Mukwena, Ronisha, Mashiro.
Well, Sundowns come in with a 4-3-3 formation. You are expecting Ramalepe to overlap and maybe push up into the middle if they like, and have a 3-4-3, very tactically flexible. Karabo Dlamini, fantastic on the left-hand side, with Liluna Daweti also on the left-hand side. Well, if we do look at the dignitaries, one to mention,
Ashford Mamelodi, one man to mention when you talk about COSAFA, together with the former BFA president there, Mr. Maklili Tweety.
Well, those are the big guns of football in the southern region. As the moment of silence. Well, that was a moment of silence for the late Anna Sechane, Township Rollers midfielder, who played also for Gaborone United and also part of the national team. She was part of the 2022 WAFCON squad, who passed away early hours of this morning in a car accident. Well, sympathies to all, as we say, from BTV, COSAFA, and all the works of football. Robala Kagiso Ngwaname. It is Mamelodi Sundowns in the middle of the park that will get us underway for this encounter. They are in the blue uniforms, a bit of yellow trimmings attacking the goal from the left to the right of your screen. Zesco Ndola Girls in all orange. They are all switched on, ready to attack the game from the right to the left. Floodlights are up. The battle lines are drawn, and it is all systems go from the fourth official to give the indication that Miss Enes Gumbo can get us going in this final match. A long wait in anticipation for the kickoff. A painful mission being turned into a final mission that is for Mamelodi Sundowns. Revenge or the comeback. These two teams meeting for the third time, and it is one win apiece. In the group stages, it was Sundowns that won by a goal to nil in 2025. In the semi-finals, when it came to the business end, it was Zesco Ndola Girls winning that one by 2-1. Today, the jury is out. Today, the question is being asked. Different coaches at at the helm of each of these sides. Godfrey Safula, a former player born in Soweto, and he is and was a former midfield player playing for clubs like Jomo Cosmos, Colo Colo, Orlando Pirates, Platinum Stars, Mamelodi Sundowns, 24 caps for Bafana Bafana. He is up against Florence Katia, who is the assistant coach to the Copper Queens, to Nora Hope. She's been in charge and recently signed, this being her 5th game, coming from Zanaco. So 2 coaches who have come in, done their homework. It's up to the business on the field.
2 teams who have done their homework. Mamelodi Sundowns came here making that statement, scoring goals for fun. They have scored 20 goals, only conceded once. Zesco Ndola girls also 10 goals scored, 3 goals conceded. But you look at Zesco Ndola girls, the semi-final against Silver Strikers, the energies were down. But the same cannot be said about this team, Mamelodi Sundowns, who were ruthless against Gaborone United. Is the energy up already for Zesco Ndola girls? Well, so far it seems like that.
Without a doubt, yes, Refilwe! Miss Tolagale gets the opening we wanted. She too celebrates a former teammate who has just left us. That is Anna. Dedication to the late Anna. And what a start. Straight from what the coach has wanted. An early start, an early settlement. And in shock is Anna Monji. In shock is Anna Monji. Delightful ball whipped into the box. The header that came in from Pauline. Unfortunately, the criminal is in the box. We talk of Refilwe Tolagale to head her goal, and that being the 5th goal of the tournament.
Look at a player like Mabel Dwala. She left Refilwe Tolagale all alone, unmarked. You don't do such mistakes against a player of Refilwe Tolagale caliber. And the alertness, the awareness, the anticipation of Refilwe Tolagale. She was just waiting for that mistake to be done. And the rest is history. Taking her goals now to 6.
Analyst Piri picks up Mandlovu. Mandlovu gets that ball just ricochet off a Sundowns player. They get the first corner. It is going to be frantic stuff. Knox not able to keep that in play, but you cannot falter for effort. She chased that right up until the final moment. That ball going out for a corner. Analyst Piri has got the quality in terms of delivery. Who will be at the end of that? Charity Mubanga, Majori Mulenga, or would it be Avel Chitundu? Goalkeeper Andile Dlamini will be asked questions, but that is dealt with by Kutsopila. Here is the Vrpa. She hasn't started the night on a bright footing, but she'll certainly be getting into gear in a moment or so. Ball delivered into the box, easy for Madlamini.
If they are to score Zesco Ndola girls, they need to do more. Corners like that, not troubling Mamelodi Sundowns defense. A very experienced defense of Dlamini, Mbani, Pila, and Ramalepe. They need to do more. Zesco Ndola girls, moments like this to try and open Mamelodi Sundowns to look for that equalizer.
Analyst Piri looking to drive forward, but there is the wall of Jericho right in front of her. They've done the homework. They've made sure that they will put a comma, they will put a question mark, and at times put the exclamation mark. It's a long ball driving forward, looking for the silent assassin there in Refilwe Tolagale. Ball goes out for a throw-in. Karabo Dlamini with 2 goals to her name and 2 beautiful goals that got Mamelodi Sundowns the comfort in the previous matches. They come into this match having scored 20 goals, conceding 1. That is Mamelodi Sundowns with 3 clean sheets. Ball delivered on the left-hand side as Kutso gets a decent header as Nontlanhla Mthandi turns, but turns into trouble. Free kick is given to Sundowns. 5 minutes, Sundowns couldn't have asked for a brighter start to this final.
Zesco Ndola girls, they know that they have a lot of work to do in order for them to come back. You are looking at the defenders of Bwala, Zulu, Nkaza and Kapansa to do a lot. Kapansa coming in from being on the bench in that game against the Silver Strikers. You look at the midfield of Muchanga, Mulenga and Chidundu. They have to guard against the Mamelodi Sundowns. A very experienced Mamelodi Sundowns, one has to say.
Is Ramalepe giving you the width? Ramalepe as a fullback taking that game forward to give Mamelodi Sundowns the numbers at times. Going into a 3-4-3 formation is Mamelodi Sundowns. For the moment, with two coaches applying the 4-3-3, there is no numerical advantage in the middle of the park. It's who uses the fullbacks to great effect.
And who takes the decisions better. Decision making seems like already is a problem in the Zesco Ndola girls, holding into the ball, not knowing where to pass or what to do with the ball.
Mistake made one more time in that defense, but it is Mandlovu looking to come away with it. High pressure. Yes, Cholagele delivers the ball in the box, but that will not trouble Annie Namonje.
A ball which I believe she could have left for Knox refueler, so sure that she can run into the 18th area for Knox to pass it into the box with her presence making a difference.
Well, the scintillating form of Sundowns with 20 goals scored in 4 matches, this being their fifth match, gives you an average of almost 5 goals per game. And this will be no difference. Florence Nkatia, the assistant to the Copper Queens, she's looking on, but she's not to be perturbed. She's a very calm coach who believes in the plan and makes sure that her players stay calm. You need that on the touchline. You need a coach who's not going to be barking instructions, but who believes that her players can come back.
The calmness of the coach also brings that calm into the field of play.
Free kick for Sundowns. They've got the numbers up front. They've pushed the big players. It's a pretty tight. This is a match where you get to play chess instead of playing football. Coaches astute on the touchline. Delivery in the box. Bounce of the ball, goes out, trickles for a goal kick.
Ball watching from Zesco Ndola girls, ball watching from Mamelodi Sundowns. Beautiful ball put in by Karabo Dlamini. This is a ball which they should have utilized, the Mamelodi Sundowns. Looking at how Zesco Ndola girls were literally rooted in their positions without moving.
With the situation being no numerical advantage, you're then looking for individual brilliance. We're talking about that in the middle of the park with Nonhlanhla Mthandi. She has about 3 players surrounding her, and for Zesco Ndola girls, they need to step up. They need to step in. The challenges are fierce. The challenges are on point. Ramalepe creating the numbers going forward. Bwalia quickly trying to recover inside the box, and he makes a hash, collects it on a second attempt. 1-0 to Mamelodi Sundowns with 8 minutes gone. They are in the driving seat. There's Nonhlanhla Mthandi with the pit bull. Maybe shows too much of the ball, but still harassing the player. Knox. Eventually that ball trickles out for a throw-in. That ball trickles out for a throw-in. Noxolo Cesane. When Sundowns get into the tiki-taka mode, sharing that ball, keeping it on the ground, Zesco Ndola girl said, we can do it just as well as you can. They've pushed aside Green Buffaloes is Zesco Ndola girls. We talk of an impressive record of 170 games or 170 goals that have been scored, or 170 league matches in 150 goals that were scored, with 6 draws, 6 losses, 14 draws. That is a team that is oozing with confidence. But those statistics, when you compare them to Mamelodi Sundowns, similar number of games, 150. We're talking 510 goals in a league comprising of 16 teams, 47 conceded. Here's the goalkeeper who comes out, and the free kick is one that would just give a little bit of the anxiety a step out of the window, because Annie knows in that moment she had made a hash out of it.
Lucky escape there from Zesco Ndola girls. That was a beautiful pressure that Dawiti did put in the defense of Zesco Ndola girls. So far, Mamelodi Sundowns making sure that they are piling that pressure. They are pressing Zesco Ndola girls. Very tough for them to get out of their box.
Well, Annie Namonje has done a good job as the deputy to Hazel Nali, a player who has done fantastically well for Zesco Ndola girls, the Zambian side. And there is Ms. Ndlovu on the ground. She looks a little bit uncomfortable, rolling on the field, being helped up by Kutsapila, I think it is. So Hazel Nali, you got to put behind you history. You got to put it furthest away, and you got to say on game day it's 11v11.
11v11, it's a matter of who came here prepared mentally, also who has a better mental strength, the physical part of it, physically who is better. We saw Zesco Ndola girls against the Silver Strikers. Physically, they were out, they were so tired. Players like El Spiri, all eyes are on her, and of course, Mr. Motsepe, the chairperson of Mamelodi Sundowns, here to watch his side and maybe also going home with that trophy.
Yeah, most definitely here to witness these ladies do the job. The crowd has nicely found their spaces, found their seats, and yes, earlier on they were rewarded by the home side, Gaborone United, winning that one quite comfortably by 4 goals. An expectation, at least as defending champions, to get a bronze medal, but it is for the moment squeaky bum time, as Zesco Ndola girls will pile on the pressure and have a never say die attitude towards a team that they respect. But when you get onto the ground, you put that respect out of the window. Here's a moment inside the box. Sundowns, great work by Annie Namonje. Fantastic work by Annie. She stayed down. She's been brilliant since the introduction. She's made sure that as deputy, she's done that with respect, and she is a player creating a name for herself.
It's going to be a very long night for the wingbacks of Zesco Ndola girls. The pace of Karabo Dlamini are passing through the defenders as if they are, cones for training, but neither doing a good save. But for Zesco Ndola girls, a coach has to have a conversation with Brala and then Ndlovu to come back to drop and help in marking players like Karabo Dlamini, players like Mtandi, Sisani, Ramalepe, who most of the time likes to go forward. The wingbacks of Zesco Ndola girls, along with the wingers, they have to work as a team to stop the speedy wingers of Mamelodi Sundowns.
Talking about the speedy wingers, they do exploit the width. They do make sure there's a midfield dominance. And for Annie Namonje, she is grimacing in pain, having gone down, and President who looks on. And you got to give a big up for a fantastically delivered tournament. Annie Namonje. Zesco Ndola girls have to contend for the moment to come from behind. Here's Vrpa. Quickly picked up. There's not much room for Enellis Piri to carry the ball as she does like. Knox. That ball goes out for a throw-in. Chidundu, she has Knox Kasana alongside her. Good protection of the ball, a drop of the shoulder to just get rid of Chidundu. There's Liluna Taweti, frantic defending as that ball goes away from Avel Chidundu. The captain's going to have to put in a good shift. Karabo Dlamini. Karabo Dlamini. And the club player goes down. Free kick for Sundowns. It's Mandlov. Tandiwe. She's going into the referee's book. And she says, I didn't do anything. The referee doesn't want to listen. Don't do anything. But yellow card.
Karabo is down and you say you didn't do anything. We spoke about, Ndlovu Byala having to work together to help in defense. Karabo Dlamini, what a player, what a tournament she has had. And you talk about her going into, the wingers, going into the left back or right back of Zesco Ndola girls, providing those crosses. That's Karabo Dlamini. They have to work hard, Zesco Ndola girls. They have to be a team. Even the midfielders of Mulenga and Muchenga, Chitundu, they at times have to go outside to go and help their left back as well as right back.
Well, it is that moment where you would get the defensive elements being exploited. He has Mamelodi Sundowns looking for that second goal, and Zesco Ndola girls are preparing a 5-man war, but there's a lot of pushing and shoving. Knox leaves it for Karabo, ball in the air. Isabel Ludwig comes close. That ball just missing inches.
Free header. Mamelodi Sundowns seem to be knowing very well how to take those free kicks, free headers, the placement or the position in the 18th area of the opponents. They know it very well and they're doing it so well.
Chitundu brings in Grace Kapanda. Yes, Sundowns with the ball. Is looking for Isabel. Knox sends it through. Looking for the energetic striker in Rifilwe Cholagele, pickpocketed with 2 fingers there from Bambanani Mbane. That experience coming to the fold. We talk of 2 fingers, a little nibble. You'll never feel that ball or that wallet coming out of your pocket. 2 finger. Keeper under pressure, picks up Ramalepe, trying to maybe use a bit of a deft touch to find Knox. Instead, that ball goes out for a throw-in.
She should have just used a header there. Ramalepe tried to be a little bit stylish, but unfortunately for her, it wants Zesco Ndola girls a throw-in.
Chitundu, a bit of a push. Away. Karabo, Sundowns, for the moment, soak up the pressure, use the explosiveness going forward. Here is the Vrpa. Here is the Vrpa. Vrpa. Endless Priri. Down she goes. Free kick given. As she started to take on and shift the gears, Endless Piri stayed on her knees, and you can see the grimace that she is playing with the heavily strapped ankle, and any touch goes to exactly that area.
Ramalepe there, very lucky not to even get a card from the referee, just being given a warning. But you gotta give them credit, Mamelodi Sundowns, in this instance, where Ramalepe goes on to cover for those players who are out of position. But Endless Spirit, should she get into this element of Endless Spirit, Mamelodi Sundowns, they're also gonna have a duty tonight.
Well, Endless Piri is over the ball, and so is Pauline Zulu. But it looks like Endless Piri will take that ball. Zulu coming to her left, also looking pretty much like the player that could swing that ball over the wall, get it furthest away from Andile Dlamini. Zesco Ndola girls coming from behind. This is the first time in this tournament that their character is being questioned. Piri over the top. Not to trouble Miss Dlamini.
Not at all. Free kicks are very important. The coach should be saying to them, need to vary your free kicks. You can't even score Andile Dlamini. Honestly, from that range, very experienced player like Andile Dlamini, they should have worked it better as Zesco Ndola girls.
We are to see the creativity. We are to see the creativity as this match progresses. Ball out to the left-hand side. It's Liluna Daweti. Continuing the run is Nonhlanhla Mthandi. She looks for support, and it comes in the form of Karabo Dlamini. The referee says, no. That is Sundowns taking it very, very quickly. Kutsopila for Sundowns. Sal's a dummy. Avel Chitundu pushing up Zesco to say, let's close up Sundowns. Let's not give them the space. Let's not give them the time. Here's Isabel Ludwig looking for Kidio. Oh, what a quick feet. Kidio takes it into the box. And it is Ramalepe who finds herself just being slightly slower than Pauline Zulu. Floodlights are up. Throw in is taken. Chitundu beaten by the bounce of the ball. Good to see Refilwe Tholakele coming into the mix. Kutsopila looking to go down the line. Knox, the intended recipient. Knox looking to create space and get around the play there. Jacqueline Chomba. Well, this is one time when, as a commentator, you really got to appreciate the work being done. The numbers are clearly written on both sets of jerseys. Kutsopila. Here's the ball coming from Nhlanhla Mthandi. She has a goal in this tournament, but quick thinking there from Miss Zulu to deny her as she was wrapping her foot around, corking that gun and about to let rip. What would you have heard? Pa, 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 pa.
She didn't check her environment, Mthandi. She was waiting for the ball to come to her. And LSPD, you know, very quick, very alert, came here to take that ball easily to make it, you know, a Zesco Ndola ball.
Namonje, Endless Piri. She has for company Karabo Dlamini. Here is Zesco Ndola girls, dispossessed by the pitbull. A bit of a bite in that midfield has left. Looks like Mulenga grimacing. There's the pace on the left-hand side. Delivery in the box, but that's a poor one. Into the side netting. Into the side netting is Refilwe Tholakele. One thing that you see of Sundowns, they're not stationed in any position. You find Tholakele coming to defense. You find Tholakele moving to the left, sometimes in the middle of the park. That is showing you the tactical awareness of these players. They are able to create confusion. Here's Mandlov. Decent ball. Bambanani Mbane looking to create space for herself. Kutsopila in support. And Ramalepe not to be outdone. The pitbull gets a foot in. Dlavu delivers. Endless Piri takes it down. First touch. And Sundowns, for the moment, getting the numbers behind the ball. Hacked away by Mbane. Picked up by Ndlovu. Good passage of play. Knox comes into it and down goes Tandiwe Ndlovu. Free kick, Zesco.
Beautiful movement that Zesco Ndola girls will definitely be proud of. And you look at, you know, the foul there by Knox. Mamelodi Sundowns coming back in numbers, defending. It shows that they are also aware of the danger that Zesco Ndola girls can possess. Free kick, what is LSPD and her side going to deliver to Andile Dlamini and her team this time?
Well, Andile just wanting the players to quickly get into position. Knox needs to be on the left-hand side, just closing that angle. The referee saying 10 yards, ladies. Make sure you are 10 yards. Peeling away from that wall. And they've pushed the numbers. Here is Endless Piri, who's got a good delivery, but leaves it for Zulu. Ball in the area. And that's not to trouble Ms. Dlamini. She's not happy with that defense, and she makes it known.
Not happy with her captain Ramalepe in particular. I had a few words with her, but for Zesco Ndola girls, the free kicks, these are you know, moments in the game that can help you to score. You need to utilize those small moments. It shouldn't be like it's a surprise that they have a free kick around the 18th area.
Well, here is a good long ball. Interesting one at that. Looking to find Refilwe Tholakele. Nhlanhla Mthandi keeps it in play. Sundowns playing with space, playing with purpose. Zesco Ndola girls, for the moment, need that equalizer. The race is on. Liluna Daweti, keeper, comes way off the line, gets involved, hacks it away. That will allow her defensive players to get back into position as they're looking for that equalizer. Zesco are pushing up their fullbacks, exposing the two centre-backs. Mamelodi Sundowns looking to capitalize on those balls behind that defense.
something that they have to guard against, more especially that they are aware. They can't say they are not aware of the speedy players that Mamelodi Sundowns has. But and so one or two occasions where Refilo Talagele, the expectation was a put her across and the ball went outside. I believe the coach will have a conversation with her. But in the middle of the park, you look at Chitundu, we look at a player like Muchenga and Mulenga. So far, one can say they are doing well. The only problem or the only struggle for them is when Mamelodi Sundowns decide to go wide.
They go wide, they open up the field, great use of the field as Isabel Ludwig. They've also got workaholics that give 100% throughout the respective time on the field. Hustling, bustling, and making sure that they breathe down the necks of the player with the ball. Zesco doing the same in moments, maybe not consistently, but they are still in with a chance. Throw in. Ramalepe. Put the foot on the ball. Yes, Knox inside the box. Good turn from Knox, but runs into trouble. Eventually that ball is taken out by Major Mulenga. Quite happy to give away the throw-in. Sundowns is in the half of Zesco Ndola. Girls ball over the top. Isabel Ludwig looking to whip it in. And another delight. Ball from range. Keeper followed it right up until it went out. Karabo, she's got a good foot on her. A left one, I might add. Good balance shown by Mamelodi Sundowns.
Zesco all in the box, all guarding against the Knox Tolakele and leaving space around the 18th area for players like Karabo Dlamini, who has given us 2 beautiful goals in this tournament.
Chitundu, picked up by Kutsapila. Refilo Tolagele, releasing Ramalepe, but it is Knox who just tries to thread that ball through. However, picked up by Miss Zulu. Throw in for Mamelodi Sundowns. Kutsapila. Bamanani Mbane. Experience aplenty, finding Knox with ease, needs a good delivery, first time ball, and turn, inside the net, off the bar, good save. Anina Monje was alert, she says not the second time, the first time I'll understand, the second time I'm here to do a job.
Zesco Ndola girls, the defense, they are, so lucky not to have considered them. Look at how they are, the positioning, Daweto all alone. Luckily, the goalkeeper was there for the rescue of Zesco.
That would have been a brilliant goal, coming to the first pole, peeling away from the defense. Karabo. Delivery is in. Coming from deep, Kutsapila. And into Namonje.
She had the entire time, she had space, she should have just held on the ball and take a better decision. That was an easy one for Namonje.
Well, in the group stages, we had Liluna Daweti make the first 11. You had Endless Piri of Zesco make the first 11. You also had Charity Mubanga. That is your striking 3. That is in the group stages. In the middle of the park, you had Irene Kumalo. Talking about Irene, the woodwork is denied. Knox, the second goal of the match. She's disappointed, but she'll be back.
She'll be back and she should be happy with that attempt. But once again, Zesco defenders, look at Mandlovu, like you call her, running around the area. She doesn't know where the ball is. She doesn't know where her opponent is at. And this is the danger that Zesco Ndola girls are posing. And Mamelodi Sundowns, should they continue pushing, I can assure you they'll get more goals.
Yes, Kutsapila. She's under pressure, but uses a goalkeeper who's available. And off a line, Dlamini will hack that ball forward. Knox using some sort of strength, but equal to the task as well is Mabel Pualia. Here's Mamelodi Sundowns looking for Isabel Ludwig. Mandlovu, the ball just getting stuck under her feet and she could do nothing but just whack it out. Does she need to be showing good awareness? Refile delivers that ball in the box, header, and it trickles over the line for a goal kick. Trickles over the line for a goal kick. This game is absolutely frantic. It is the first half, and we've got a goal, one that was scored pretty early in the match. And catching Zesco Ndola girls a bit cold in the air. Isabel is menacing.
Mamelodi Sundowns, the front three of Sisane, Tholakele, Dawit, one has to give them credit on how they appreciate and work with each other. When Tholakele is out of, that box, you'll see Dawit in the box, or Sisane in the box.
Player going down, Karabo Dlamini, and it's Endless Piri who also would deny doing anything wrong, and the referee says, it's okay, I know what I saw. 30 minutes on the clock, you have a look at that. A bit of push, pulling and jersey tagging, and also just the feet there. Aren't we giving you some beautiful pictures to tell the story of what's going on the field? Whether you like it or not, you're going to get to see it. And in replays, in slow-mo, you pick your choice. That indication, you will get to understand what it means. Both players aligned. They seem to be wanting to give exactly that. Karabo played short. Dlamini brings it in hard and low. But the Orange Brigade gets it away.
I guess that was the communication to say we are not going to flight the ball in the 18th area. We are going to take it in a different way.
Header away for Zesco. Piri on the ground. Ball whipped into the box, taken off the jet. Daweti goes down. There's no chance there of a penalty. And the referee says, let's get up and get on with it. Pitbull. Not wanting that ball to go back to the goalkeeper is Coach Godfrey Sapula. He says the wrong way. Have you forgotten that you're scoring in the opposite direction? Miss Piri is grimacing in pain. Endless Piri, the Vrpa of the tournament. This time, seems like there's a lot of backfiring in that engine. It's taken a lot of hammering throughout this tournament, being clipped, maybe a couple of valves, gasket blown.
She had a great tournament at Lespiren. Glo, we are going to have some individual awards. The top goal scorer so far, Refila Tholakele, smiling to it. A player of the tournament, going to have a goalkeeper of the tournament, and Peo Giatloleso there, the chairperson of women's football in Botswana, together with the vice president one of Botswana Football Association, Mr. Maokane Mbontsesi.
Well, we told you we will share the information with you. We will tell you who's who in the zoo. We will spot them from every corner and every hook there is. That will be the bird's eye view. And alongside me, I have the scorpion. That is Miss K. Players down. She's being treated, checking for a penalty, a possible penalty. And that is for the push on Liluna Daweti. And unfortunately there you had, Miss Zulu push Liluna Daweti. Game continued, but VAR was on point to see what is going on and says, referee, just come and have a look at this and then you make up your mind. It's a push in the box. I've seen some of those given. And she went down, and the good thing about it is that both sets of players, even in the earlier match, like Jessica Modise, she also was fouled but carried on playing and let VAR do the job. Referee was called back to say, come and have a look and see what is happening. But looking at Pauline, pushing her straight down, and that could spell trouble for Zesco Ndola girls.
And also the push from Pauline, so unnecessary. I mean, Daweti was, where was she facing? She wasn't even facing the goals of Zesco Ndola girls. She is facing far from the goals, and you do that push with the ball far from, entering the box as well. If it's a penalty, we hear from VAR, it will be a disappointing penalty to concede from a player like Zulu, who has, played a lot of games in this tournament. She should be knowing a lot better. You look at the number of minutes that she has
played every single day, every
360 minutes.
That's every single minute of every single game. And she was beaten to the ball by Liluna Daweti, but facing the opposite side. And that is where Endless Piri got injured earlier on. Karabo Dlamini looking to deliver that ball pretty quick. And I would fail to understand if the referee doesn't give that penalty, because it doesn't matter where you are, where you're facing. The fact of the matter is you are in the box. And a push in the box, let's see, what does it say? Penalty! Or is she giving it? She's allowing play to continue. I didn't see that sign. As far as I know, that decision is penalty not given. A push in the box, well, no penalty given.
But also the signaling of the referee, yes,
is confusing.
It was confusing because the way she came out from the VAR, she signaled like a penalty,
yes. Well, some work to be done in understanding the language. But again, she will probably have to explain why not. Sundowns. The good thing is that the players didn't ask for it, so they got on with business, and the referees decided that. And for VAR to pick it up.
Great work. They are at work.
They are at work. There's nobody on holiday in this particular match. Ball goes out for a throw-in. So at A.W. Miller Stadium, that was on the 24th of August. It was Mamelodi Sundowns that won by a goal to nil. They qualified into the semi-finals as the second best finishers in the group. Met Sundowns, and a mistake made in goals that will haunt Andile Dlamini for some days to come. But good to see she's put that behind her. That is what you ask of a player with great character, a player who knows that football is about mistakes, was able to carry that game and rectify. Another player goes down, this time on the edge of the box. Referee looking on, and could this be another moment to ask of VAR to have a look at where was that foul given? So it was Tandiwe. A rare moment for Zesco, making an appearance on the opposite end with 38 minutes, yet to get a shot at goal, yet to get a shot on target. Tandiwe Ndlovu. Corner. And the referee says, let's cut it out. There's no pushing and shoving. Let's cut it out. Everybody, let's get to work. Corner to be taken. Ndlovu delivers that ball. Keeper comes out. Header is one that just shaves the head of Pauline and goes out for a goal kick.
That was a much better attempt by Zesco Ndola girls. Before they got that corner kick, they were pushing in numbers going forward. They were trying to attack Mamelodi Sundowns, going in numbers. That resulted in that corner kick. And in the middle of the park, you can see now they have 4 players. They push their wingbacks to come in the middle as they try and, get that goal.
You got to compliment Isabel Ludwig. She went it alone, almost facing 3-4 defenders. Isabel Ludwig left out as the lone attacking player. Knox. Charity on the ball. Ramalepe looking to bring on Mazulu as that ball is being shared Kutsopila picks up Chitundu. Here's Ndlovu, delivers that ball close down by Mbane. Ramalepe says, let me help it on. And here is the intelligence of Knox. Good ball in, but eventually getting it away. Enelispiri on the edge of the box, but Sundowns' defense has been quite calm, in no hurry to get that ball away. Keeper under pressure. Here's Kutsopila, turning and turning into trouble. Here is Zesco with the ball in. That should have been a punishment.
A moment for Mamelodi Sundowns defense to have a word with each other. As much as they are so calm, they win those balls even when Zesco try and attack. These are the moments that you would want to avoid. You will never know what will happen. But for Zesco, on the other hand, there's an issue of let's keep on pushing. Let's keep on piling that pressure on Mamelodi Sundowns. Maybe we can get something.
40 minutes on the clock. Mamelodi Sundowns 1, Zesco Ndola Girls 0. Charity. There's a player down in your picture, and Bambanani Mbane, who had already observed and was ready to kick that ball out of play. Enelispiri is being shown the floor. Enelispiri is not having it her way. This time, what do they say? You meet your Moses.
Meet your Moses, and the Moses is Karabot Lamine in this instance. But the way she fell, Glo, she fell with her shoulder.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's nothing big. But the way she is, it looks like she's in a pain that is, you know what, not going away.
Well, it's a bit much. Miracle spray will do the job. Enelispiri has been closely guarded. If ever the response to the summons, or not the summons, the warrant.
Warrant of arrest, you meant to give it to me, but it looks like the correct Karabo, the correct Karabo actually took it. Karabo Dlamini.
Well, Karabo delivered the warrant of arrest, and she needs to appear. And yes, Karabo doing the job. That's a bit of a push and a shove on Enelispiri. Getting into a huddle is Mamelodi Sundowns, organizing their frailties. Still receiving treatment. Will be interesting to see. I am yet to see a game for Zesco without an Enelispiri. Knox, good take off the chest. Picks up the pit bull. Liluna Daweti spotting a frantic and beauty! Not getting it on target, but getting in front of that defense. It's Refilwe Tolagere. Kolosa Biane is really spreading delightful balls across, picking up the players on the move, on the run. Look at Karabo. Delightful ball. Tolagele coming in.
The communication between Tolagele as well as Isabel there. You saw Refilwe indicating to her, let's communicate, let's talk. But Zesco defense, I mean, how do you have Refilwe Tolagele heading that ball unmarked? Karabot, I mean, we spoke about the danger that she poses all the time. The interchanges between her and Daweti, they are very so dangerous to Zesco Ndola girls.
Well, it still looks like Enelispiri is being treated, and she is in pain. This is not a sight that we want to see. She's absolutely uncomfortable. But, we are fast approaching the 45th minute, and we still need to see the referee's additional time. We had a bit of a stoppage to the goalkeeper there, Ani Namonja. We now have Enelispiri, who's out. Sundowns having hit the woodwork with Knox. Also had Refilwe Tolagele come close. Liluna Daweti. That ball played short. Karabo. Ball goes out of play. It was there's some enterprising play. There's a bit of a mix as well and variation in these set pieces that Sundowns get in that area. So they do become unpredictable. Bambanani Mpane. Ntandi just coming to the rescue, and Andile Dlamini sends that ball away. Liluna Daweti picked up by Knox. She runs into trouble, is Nokolo Klesane. Kolosa Piana. Knox has stayed down on the ground. 5 minutes is to be added. Well, with Knox down, Sundowns could have played that ball out, and Inamonje seems to oblige, but here is Enelis Piri. This time, Kolosa Biana does well. Good take off the chest. Ricocheting. Ball in! That goes over the bar. That ball goes over the bar. It was an interesting move. Charity Mubanga connecting that, but just skidding off the board. Sundowns in that moment looked a bit vulnerable. Mubanga. Charity, she's got 3 goals to her name, is Charity Mubanga. But those drummers are behind Mamelodi Sundowns. Free kick to Zesco. They've scored 10 goals, conceding 4. 5-2 against Herentals, 1-0 against Lesotho Defence Force, 2-0 against Gaborone United, 2-1 against Silver Strikers. Another disappointing effort.
If they are not going to work on the free kicks, Zesco, these free kicks, they shouldn't be an easy let away to Mamelodi Sundowns. They need to be troubling Mamelodi Sundowns with this free kick so they can also avoid making those mistakes, more especially around the 18th area.
Ball just skidding off the boot of Majori Mulenga. Annie coming, playing pretty much as a keeper sweeper as Annie. That's one thing that I like about her, the difference between her and Hazel. Very quick off a line is Annie. She just needs to get her timing right. Charity Mubanga. She has Karabo Dlamini. Can she cut through? There's Charity Mubanga. She goes down, and a free kick is given. Karabo, just a little bit of a clip to stop her from her tracks. She knows what she was doing, and the 2 players, they know about these fouls. Does she get a yellow card? Yes, she does. Karabo. So yellow card for Karabo. Free kick to Zesco Ndola goals. Mubanga. She knew when the minute she did that she's in trouble. You can see.
Even when she was given the card, didn't even complain.
No.
Received it well, took the responsibility.
Take accountability for what I did. Taking one for the team.
Taking one for the team.
It's a chance for Zesco to pull one in. Ball in! Brilliant ball! Great play! Zesco are back in it! Good piece of play! The ball was delivered with fight into the box. Keeper never saw that. But the Zambians celebrate. It looks like Charity Mubanga getting onto the score sheet. Good connection. Let's have a look at this again. Peeling away, coming in front of the defense, and connecting very well.
Unmarked.
Sundowns defense is breached. This is the 2nd goal being conceded in this tournament. Charity Mubanga getting her name on the score sheet. You're going to the break level on one apiece. This is the moment that sets the cats amongst the pigeons.
A very disappointing defending from Mamelodi Sundowns there. Charity Mubanga left all alone. They had so many numbers in the box. Mamelodi Sundowns, they could have, dealt with that ball in a very easier manner, rather than making things difficult for themselves. But when you look at Zesco Ndola girls, they have been piling the pressure. They have been looking for that goal. They have been going for Mamelodi Sundowns, having so many numbers going forward. That's Mamelodi Sundowns, and Ellis Piri Glo still out with that shoulder injury.
Wow, this is a disappointment. They're checking for a possible no-goal. VAR is looking for a possible no-goal. This will be one of the biggest deflations if disallowed. When the coach was preparing the script for halftime discussion with these players, VAR says, let's have a look at it. And there's a long wait. What would have been the reason? We'll have a look at the slow-mo if there was any pushing and shoving. And the referee, that ball coming in, I still don't understand what happened there.
Anything wrong.
Analyst delivers. Player coming in. It looks clean for me. It does look clean for me, unless
Ernest Gumbo waiting, Mubanga as well, waiting to see if the celebration was worth it.
This was not an indirect free kick, it was a direct free kick.
Yeah. They didn't have to play it twice.
Yes, an indirect free kick would have been 2 touches. In this case, it was direct, got the connection with Charity Mubanga peeling away from Mbane. Very clean connection. And again, you got to look at the defending though. For Andile Dlamini, should have had a play on the first pole. There. She should have had a play on the first pole and the last pole. Doesn't have anything. Ball in. Okay. Peeling away from the defense. Good connection. That ball is in. I don't know. There's something that we are not seeing.
That the VAR saw.
That VAR saw. That's why we have our 2 officials in that van, deserving of that seat.
They are trying to see the unseen that we unfortunately missed with our eyes. They can see better than us. That's a VAR. Mubanga there in waiting to see if her goal will stand or not. But Mamelodi Sundowns, they're having a conversation in the middle of the park. It's a must that they do. Looking at the last 10 minutes, how Zesco has been coming to them, has been, finding ways to go through that defense of Pila, of Ramalepe Dlamini, as well as Mbani. Maybe the coach can say to Ramalepe and Dlamini, well, you go forward in intervals, don't always go forward, because Zesco, they have realized that, the wing backs of Mamelodi Sundowns are always out of a position, and they easily put the ball behind and attack Mamelodi Sundowns.
But one thing that is sure, we have a final on our hands. These kind of decisions, these kind of weights, she indicates that it is a goal and it will stand. It is a goal and it will stand.
1 Zesco Ndola.
1 Zesco Ndola girls, 1 Mamelodi Sundowns. We're back to square one, and we await with bated breath for a second half that should be no different. Frantic, scintillating. Throw in for Zesco. Bit of a push from Kolosa Biana. Ball went out, and a throw in. Ball went out. Throw in for Zesco. There's a player hopping out for Mamelodi Sundowns. It looks like Karabo Dlamini. Kutso Pila's trying to get her defense into position. 55 minutes on the clock, and this time Andile Dlamini smothers that, rooted. That ball was so clinically taken by Charity Mubanga. 4th goal of the tournament, and down they go on their knees is Zesco Ndola girls. They all go down on their knees, and Enelis Piri is still in pain, and she has an assist in this match as well. And one's got to look at the fireworks, as Annie Namonje has been the busier of the two goalkeepers. Tolagele, Ramalepe, they've contributed immensely to the first 45. And for Florence Gachi and her assistant, they will be plotting what the second half should look like. But it is business as usual. These two teams playing at the top level. So we have a look at the highlights of the first 45 minutes. Ball was delivered into the box. Mistake made by Pauline Zulu. Rifilwe Tolagale says thank you very much. And that was the opening goal. A lovely header just above the goalkeeper's head and got nicely into the box. And what a lovely gesture to celebrate the passing of a former teammate of Gaborone United, later Township Rollers, and we remember her. But it was Knox with another question being asked of Annie Namonje. But here is Liluna Daweti denied, or Karabo Dlamini denied, cutting through, oozing with confidence. Keeper does enough to stop that ball. It was Knox looking for the space, picking out the ball inside the box, and Liluna Daweti getting that ball on target, but the keeper, brilliant save to turn it away for a corner. So Knox with a great ball, Liluna with a great strike, and an equally good save by Annie Namonje to deny Mamelodi Sundowns a second one. Then we had another effort, this time provider being Karabo Dlamini. Connection was Refilwe Talagele, not getting it on target. This was a moment in which Zesco Ndola girls beat the offside trap, and that ball just skidding off the boot of Charity Mubanga. Then the much needed goal to get the equalizer. Good delivery from the Vrpa on the left hand side, picking up Charity Mubanga to get that ball into the net. Statistics, very interesting. 1 goal apiece, 3 shots on target for Sundowns, 1. The only one that Zesco got, they put it away. 4 wide shots apiece. That's how even this match is, with 6 and 5 fouls, 11 in total. One can only but say we have a final on our hands. We'll take a moment and go down to the touchline and listen to our esteemed summary of the first 45 with Dipsy Silolwane and Nozi Sibia.
Thank you so much to our commentary team. I am joined by former Botswana international as well as COSAFA ambassador Dipsy Silolwane. Dipsy, what an interesting first half. Obviously, for the very first time, Mamelodi Sundowns are going to a halftime in this competition on a draw.
Very interesting. Early goal, late goal in the house. So it's a nice twist to the game, and it changes how the approach is going to be in the second half. But I think the game started quite well. They were testing each other out, a little bit conservative, and it's a final. The nerves are there. That's why I think Zesco were caught off guard because the game was still early. So later on, the reverse happens. It's a free kick on the side, and there's a loose player in the middle, connects nicely with the ball. So very interesting.
Very interesting first half indeed. That Zesco goal, though, the referee did obviously check on VAR. What do you think she was checking for?
At first when we think VAR, we're quick to say it's taking too long, but you'd rather have it done right than be quick to assess and then later see that it wasn't the right call. So I think they made a right choice. They looked at it, they assessed it. I was trying to figure out what could have been the problem. Was there any shirt pulling? Was there any blocking? Or was it even an offside? I think they made their decision. For me, it looked like a clean goal. Very nice goal, worked free kick.
The coach of Mamelodi Sundowns did obviously say that they were scoring a lot from set pieces, but it seems like Zesco is doing something today to stop them. What do you think they're doing right?
Concentration. I mean, if you look at all the free kicks they were doing, they have one player run over the ball to try and shake the line, and then a good delivery. And then they made a very good variation where the runner received the same ball to play the cross, which is pretty brilliant. You can tell it's something they've been training. Unfortunately, they conceded off of a free kick also, which means they have to give as much attention into attack as defense.
I actually wanted us to also talk about the goalkeeper of Zesco, who's been very instrumental for them in this half. What did you think of her performance?
Very good leadership, strong. She's got good size, very confident, comes out. I think in her leadership, you could hear her shouting to her back four to drop or telling them to push up, which is very, very good leadership.
Talking about leadership, I did see a lot of frustration from both coaches in this half. What do you think they are saying to the players right now?
To stay focused and to compete, because it has had its moments where it was a little bit physical, on the dual shoulder to shoulder. You have to ask a little bit more from the players, and hopefully the ref is on your side on that one. But it's good to see the coaches show emotions, also be part of it, and to encourage the girls, the ladies to step up and compete.
That was Dipsy Sululwane, former Botswana international as well as COSAFA ambassador, saying that it is a final. So the coaches are definitely right now encouraging their players to compete. Do join us back for the second half.
Welcome back. We have the second half for you on the cards. Second half on the cards. Mamelodi Sundowns is back taking their positions. So is Zesco Ndola girls. They are in to make sure that this is a spectacle. This is a match that gives you the best of the best in COSAFA. One apiece. What we were expecting. A tight match. A match that speaks to the bench. Two astute coaches making sure that you are not having a single dull moment. It is Zesco Ndola girls that will get us started here in the second half. And what a way to come back after trailing for most parts of the match. That's what champions are made of. That's what champions are made of. First change by Mamelodi Sundowns. It is the introduction of Ntabiseng Magia.
For Mamelodi Sundowns, out is number 15,
Lelona Daweti.
Ntabiseng Magia.
And Ntabiseng Magia is being brought on. She's got pace. The positioning is good. She only needs a goal to pick up the confidence. Zesco Ndola girls, finally, Annalise Peary gives way. And her place is being taken by Frida Kabwe. Well, Frida Kabwe has got big shoes to fit. The discomfort of Annalise Peary was too much to handle. And Andile Dlamini will be on high alert. Good take off the chest. Sundowns with Nonhlanhla Mthandi. Looking to find Refilwe Talagele. Pauline Zulu leaps highest and makes sure that that ball finds no way into that defense. Beaten once, but not the second time. Refilwe knocks. Looking to play that ball back, but she's got to come against the wall of Jericho. Ball delivered. Coming in from deep is Karabo Dlamini. Header away. Player stayed down. Looks like Nonhlanhla Mthandi. Karabo Dlamini keeping the ball. Sundowns could knock that ball out. Instead, the referee, who realizes that the player is in distress. Two changes made. Two coaches responding simultaneously to the situation.
For Mamelodi Sundowns, bringing in Ntabiseng Magia, it will be an issue of give us that pace. One player, position-wise, is so good with it, and one player that can break the defense, that's Ntabiseng. She gives you so many options, more especially when you are in attack. But the expectation also will be for her to help in defense. As for Zesco, the work is a lot, more especially to Frida, who was replacing Ella Spiri. Ella Spiri has been a thorn in this Mamelodi Sundowns side, not only Sundowns but the entire tournament. And for Frida, the expectation is the same. Give us numbers going forward, give us options, you know, loop in those balls. Those free kicks should be utilized.
Well, you're looking for Sergio Busquets to stamp authority in this match. She is yet to make sure that her presence is felt. Here's Madlami, Mandlov, Kolosa Piana. There's Ntabiseng Magia trying to cut through, looking for Isabel Lewswick. That ball hacked away by the ever-present, lanky Pauline Zulu. Pauline Zulu really navigates that area like a panther on ice. Nonhlanhla Mthandi for the moment is out on the touchline. Nonhlanhla Mthandi having received a treatment. Sundowns down to 10 players on the field. They needed to make a comeback. Nonhlanhla Mthandi. One change apiece. With Annalise Peary finally buckling, that engine is seized, as they say. Played into the box, header comfortably into the hands of Annie. Annie Namonja. She has Kutsopila with her for company, just making sure they cause a little bit of a stoppage. Kabwe does well. 25 against 25. Quarter of a century. Away by Dlamini. And that ball comes all the way to the fourth official bench. Chitundu in the air. Zambia against South Africa. Knox just losing out. Kabwe, player goes down, taking a full knock to the chest. Wind out, but she's back up on her feet. She gives a thumbs up as Karabo Dlamini, but will be watched very closely by the medical team to see if she buckles. Well, the character laid bare by Zesco. Knox, a bit of a push and a shove, but does well to stay on her feet. Awareness aplenty. Here's Ndlovu, looking to send up front. That is Mubanga. Majori Mulenga.
This is the second ball that Andile has been, taking it out. She needs to do better in her distribution, more so that she always has options of Sundowns players in open areas to give them the ball.
Well, that is what the pressure does. Ball in the air. Ball in the air. You can't talk of Zambian football and not bring Rachel Kundananji in the equation. You cannot talk Zambian football and not bring Barbara Banda into the equation. Those are some of the players that have laid the foundation. You can go a lot more deeper, a lot more when you look at the story of Zambian football. Mulenga, Nonhlanhla Mthandi, scanning the area, looking to find Karabo Dlamini. First touch, second touch is a delivery inside the box. That's overcooked. Overcooked, and will allow Annie Namonje to take her time about getting that game going. Pauline Zulu. Zambia, be proud. This team is going places. Avel Chitundu, Nonhlanhla Mthandi, looking to send it back. Good take by Nonhlanhla Mthandi. Looking to find Magia. Good defensive work. Good support. Avel Chitundu on the ball. Kabwe sends it forward, runs out of room and into the touchline. Throw in Sundowns. Throw in Mamelodi Sundowns. Good take. Colossa Biana. Turn. That is picked up yet again. Mubanga! Into the hands of the goalkeeper. Free kick was spotted. Keeper was alert. You got to make sure you play according to the whistle. Cannot take it for granted.
She had to be alert until Dlamini, but the ref there was a little bit too late to take a decision. But Mamelodi Sundowns, one is looking at the midfield to say maybe Biana should be protecting your defense even more and have options of, Mthandi, Ludwig, who we haven't really seen much of her work in this game to provide players like Majiwa, Tolakele and Knox.
Certainly a buzz about the match. Here's Tabisek Magia. Good ball looking for Refilwe Tolakele. She has Knox on the left-hand side. Ball in the box and laid back to Refilwe Tolakele. Snapshot looking for Isabel Ludwig. Knox takes it down, sends it for Ramalepe inside the box and away by the wall of Jericho. You want to break them down, you got to do better than that. Hacked away. Better work by Esther Muchenga. In the air it hangs. Avril Chitundu. A bit of a nudge and a shove and a push by Colossa Biana. Free kick is given.
Free kick Zesco Ndola girls who are looking more composed. They are so calm, Zesco. And, the sub of LS Spirit so far hasn't really affected them so much. Zesco Ndola girls is still piling that pressure on Mamelodi Sundowns, and defense-wise also making sure that the job is being done.
Absolutely. Header away. Nonhlanhla Mthandi. Isabel Ludwig. Yes, Isabel Ludwig. Knox on the run is Ramalepe. She gives up the chase. That was a good move, but eventually the result is one that will be favorable to Zesco. Ball going out for a goal kick.
Ball going out for a goal kick. Ramalepe there stopped along the way to chase that ball. The expectation was for her to put in that cross, but Zesco Ndola girls, I think our concern will be we are now seeing Namonja not taking the goal kicks. They have been taken rather by the defenders on her behalf.
Well, Jacqueline Chomba, they call her the commander, and why is that? She commands that area. Throw in for Sundowns. I have come across noisier graveyards, the anxiety, the tension. You can cut it with a knife. Ball in the box, and that ball just skidding away from the post, and the last touch coming off Isabel Ludwig. Quite dangerous is Isabel Ludwig. Judith Soko, she's on the bench. If they need another player, I mean, she stopped in her tracks. Some tenacious defending. Some good decisions being made. Jamini, another delivery. Sundowns don't have too many numbers in the box. Ramalepe, Tandi, and Kolosa. Kolosa giving chase. She has Kutsa Pila alongside her. Pila has Bombanani Mbane. Good shifting here by Zesco. Now there's trouble in that defense, but averted.
They are looking for that second goal. Mamelodi Sundowns are piling in pressure. So far, Zesco, they are dealing well with the pressure. They are handling Mamelodi Sundowns well.
Header! Ludwig! Still in the box, a near miss. That defense for a moment had a lapse in concentration. And it is the robust Miss Donnelly who will be making an entry. Ronald Donnelly to impose her stature and activate the players around her. Good take. Magia still taking that ball. A good turn. Tabiseng Magia. She has two players. Down she goes in the box. Tabiseng Magia loses out. Chidundu hacks it away. Good take as Charity Mubanga is on the ground. And a hold by Bambanani Mbane. A hold by Bambanani Mbane. A yellow card for Bambanani Mbane. She's taking the decisions herself and saying, on the opposite end, you've got Tabiseng Magia.
Yeah.
Let me also hold someone on this end. No. No. But looking on and hoping that turn would have turned Sundowns' defense in 6s and 7s.
Substitution
And
for
VAR
Mamelodi
is at work
Sundowns
to
asks
check a
number
possible
21
penalty on that Magia incident. Mamelodi
Ronaldo.
Sundowns taking out Mthandi, bringing in Donnelly. They won those goals. There was a chance which Isabel had indecisiveness, whether to put in the head or to use her feet to actually kick that ball. But we are going to see a delay here because the VAR are checking for possible penalty on the Magia incident.
Well, a game goes on for sure, but the check will continue. The check will continue. And if the decision is one that needs to be made by the referee, she will be called upon. She will be called to come and see the monitor. And she's now being alerted that they are checking that VAR for that Tabiseng Magia possibility. We go back to the incident. Here's Magia. Eliminates one and then takes that ball. She's inside the box. And down she goes and holds the ankles. Didn't see that very clearly.
I think we need to see where the two
Where
defenders,
the two defenders
coming
are.
for her.
Yeah.
When they were coming for her to see if they touched her, did they touch the ball first, or what was the situation all about?
Well, we've had a good call earlier on as Thabiseng Magia with the ball. There is a foot that comes in. That one coming through, yes, is the one that is been asked about. Thabiseng Magia going down. There was a foot in. Did she win the ball? Did she get the ball? That ball is what there.
She didn't win the
No,
ball.
I think Thabiseng Magia's foot hit or got hooked on the foot of the opposition. Look at that now. There. Thabiseng Magia kicking onto the other player. And for me, I wouldn't give it. I wouldn't give it.
Intelligence of players looking for those penalties. You literally take your foot to your opponent's foot.
Miss K,
Yeah.
to be fair,
Yeah.
the players continued play. It is VAR who looked at it and says, you know what, let's have a look.
She's the
Let's
one who
just-
kicked the defender.
Yeah.
There's no penalty there, according to me. But, well, the decisions are not made by us. But look at Ntabise. She saw that Zesco defender's foot is already there, and she was going down, put her foot under, and she fell.
But the defender also missed the ball. That is another factor that comes into that. The defender misses the ball, and her foot in the box is one that could be questioned. That foot in front of the player is one that could be questioned. You miss the ball in the box, you're in trouble. Miss K, we don't play.
Absolutely didn't touch the ball.
Miss K, we don't play. Penalty! Oh no. She missed the ball. Ah no. Ah no. Penalties given. I wish I could explain it a lot more. And it was from that miss and her foot being in the way. Hade.
Well, the referee's decision.
Lucky me and you're in the comments.
Yeah, we don't
we
take
would have
decisions.
we would have received some ice or bottles or oranges or
Everything
whatever.
related.
Yeah.
But on penalty Mamelodi Sundowns, the big question is, will they restore the lead? But you look at Namonje, she has been doing so well. She has the height. She literally has everything. She's not going to be an easy goalkeeper to beat for Mamelodi Sundowns. Karabat Lamini was the first person to actually take that ball, put it at the penalty spot. What is the outcome going to be?
Well, she does have good reflexes. She's a tall player. She is a player who commands that area. Karabo Dlamini leaves it for Refilwe Tolagele. And if you look at the keeper, she's left more space to the left-hand side, calling for the attacker to go left. If you know that is your strong side. The referee is not communicating with her fourth line or the
fourth official and the line. They have been calling her for over 2 minutes now. Want to see what they are really talking about. That instance, the referee, the assistant referee, as well as the match commissioner, just
well, there's a bit of a technology failure, I can assure you, and they're not able to communicate with each other. And well, that is Mr. Felix Mawira, who is the referee's manager, just making sure that that equipment is correct. Mr. Felix Tanawamira, he's done such an excellent job in preparing the players.
Tolagele gonna be the one taking the penalty, can take her goals tally to 7, and Mubanga is just right behind behind her with 5 goals.
And maybe that is why Sundowns is saying, let us push Tholakele to get the golden boot, because what we want to do is take goalkeeper of the tournament. What we want to do is take the striker of the tournament. Brilliant! Tholakele makes no mistake. Tholakele gets Sundowns back in the lead.
Second race of the tournament for Refilwe Tholakele, but let's look at that penalty kick from her. She long-picked her spot, decided I'm picking up the spot. Tall goalkeepers, they are very rare for them to go for those high balls and power behind the ball for Refilwe Tholakele. A player of her caliber, the expectation is given a chance like that, you execute it well.
Absolutely. But the magicians are at work. Miss Ngatia and Co is at work. The keeper went the one way, Refilwe went the other way. Tholakele is mean, menacing and poised, composed in front of goal. And that beats the best of the best. Dust yourself up, young lady. That is Annie Namonje. 2-1 in favor of Mamelodi Sundowns. 64 minutes, 65 minutes and counting. We wish Enolis Piri a speedy recovery. She now joins the bench with Hazel Nali, Deborah Henry. And look at that run from Karabo Dlamini. Giving chase, and eventually that ball goes out of play.
A little bit too much for Karabo Dlamini, but one player you can put in those balls, or probably the field as well. If it was probably a bigger one, she could have won for that ball.
And Bane with a quick turn anywhere will do. Frantic at defending, frantic play. 2-1 to Sundowns. The crowd have not moved an inch. Beautiful skies, beautiful take. Ball in the box and away by Maspila. Here's Ronald Donnelly. She'll give chase. Pauline Zulu does what she does best, which is hack that ball up front and be hopeful. Players like Kabwe will see what to do with that. Players like Charity Mubanga will try and find a way. Not forgetting Miss Tandi Wendlow. Sundowns with the ball played between the two centre-backs. Refilwe Tholakele gives chase. Safety first by Grace Kapanza. Just gets a slight touch. Nothing exciting, nothing too demanding. The referee's equipment for the moment is malfunctioning, and there's a bit of discussion taking place. Mr. Felix is not too happy with what is happening, and that breaking the momentum of the game.
Breaking the momentum of the game, players have to do something to keep themselves warm. They shouldn't be standing like they are. You look at Knox there, a little bit of dancing, and Tabiseng as well, a little bit of movement to keep themselves warm.
Very often when the equipment for VAR malfunctions, the referee calls the two captains and then says, come this way, and then explains to them, right now we're playing but without VAR. I'm not sure if that is exactly what she's going to do. And just to share with them that for the moment, whilst we're fixing up situations, there will be no VAR. Well, those fans have not stopped singing from the very first whistle. A third goal from whichever side will be very important. A goal for Zesco will really keep us here another 30 minutes possibly. A goal by Mamelodi Sundowns will drop the heads of Zesco Ndola girls. Refilwe, Ramalepe. That ball goes out and it is a goal kick.
One is looking at Zesco to say now that LS Piri is out, who is raising the hand to say I'm here to help the team. And so far, looking at the sub they made, Zesco Ndola girls, they haven't been the Zesco that went for recess, attacking Mamelodi Sundowns, looking for that goal, which they eventually got. They're going to bring that momentum back.
Well, the Grazier. The Grazier. Those are some lovely names. That's Pauline Zulu. She takes everything in front of her, out of her way. You've got the commander, such beautiful names that they have. Sergio Busquets, Majori. You've got the Lion, Judith Soccer. She's about to roar. And two players go down. It looks like Colossa. And just a bit of a knock on the hemi there for Colossa. When you run into Colossa, that's a brick wall there, right there. Well, fantastic way to end a tournament. And Gaborone falling on her hand. There is the captain, Avel Chitundu. If you look at the two players receiving treatment, Sundowns frantic, and Colossa looks like there's some bandage that is being put on. On the other hand, you've got Avel Chitundu also receiving treatment. As we spoke about the 10-11 goals that have been scored so far for Zesco Ndola girls.
President of COSAFA, President of Botswana Football Association, Mr. Tariq Babitseng, also present here to see the curtains closing down for the COSAFA qualifiers for the year 2026. Mamelodi Sundowns, you see Knox Tolakele there having a conversation, as well as Donnelly, to say how do we navigate our way going forward. For Zesco Ndola girls, Florence has called a couple of players as well, having a conversation with them. How can they get back into this game with 20 minutes to go, and maybe extra 30 depending on the scoreline after 90 minutes. But for that injury which happened on Biana, she was actually, her eyes were on the ball, wasn't looking at Chitundu there, fell on Chitundu, and unfortunately she secured that injury.
Well, two-time champion, back-to-back champions in Zambia. With Enelis Piri, 16 goals of the season. She's added a couple at this particular tournament. Enelis Piri, who started this match, she's got 3 goals in this tournament. Avel Chitundu, 26 goal top scorer. You can leave her at your own peril. That's Avel Chitundu. When she walks off, trust me, she will be somebody that you will sorely miss. 14 assists, 26 goals in the league. Penelope Malubwa, all-time top scorer in a single season. What do you say? 35 goals. 35 goals.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Penelope Maluba. So, treatment. As we show one more time. Is it a dead leg, or is it really that critical? Biana seems to have taken that knock. Doesn't look like she will continue. You certainly now have a problem on your shoulders. You've taken out an Nonhlanhla Thandi, who operates in that midfield as well. And now you have Colossa Biana going down. You need to look at the bench to see who else can Mamelodi Sundowns bring into the midfield.
Called for choice in the bench. Players like Oratile Mukwena can come in.
No, that's an attacking player. You
Yeah.
need a person who can nibble in the midfield, who can become that defensive midfielder, as she's being stretched off. There's Colossa
With the yellow
Biana
card.
with the yellow card for sure. And the referee gives you the yellow card even when you're on the stretcher. There's no mercy there. There is no mercy. Referee Enelis Gumbo says, come to my office. Come and get what you deserve. Yellow card. So the medical team will be working on before a decision is made on whether or not need to prepare a substitute. For the moment, can Zesco take advantage of the numerical position? But Sundowns will be very quick to make that change. And the player is ready to come back on.
Was she dodging the cut?
Ball into the hands of Andile Dlamini. She still looks like she is limping. Colosa Biano. She's looking very confused. I think the decision there, or whatever the conversation is with the fourth official. There's Tabiseng Magia. Ronald Donnelly gives chase, and she'll leave that for Tabiseng Magia. Isabel Ludwig wins that ball for Mamelodi Sundowns. There's Ronald Donnelly. Ball goes out, trickles over the line for a goal kick. Change or the entry onto the field. Charity Mubanga picked up by Kutsopila, looking for Ms. Donnelly. Ramalepe brings in a goalkeeper. Matlamini. Ramalepe with Randlovu. Ramalepe sends it away. Holding is Refilwe Talagele, looking to release Ramalepe, but instead it is Donnelly. Well, it's almost 3 minutes and the player still out, not making an entry. Eventually she gets onto the field. Eventually Colosa makes her way back onto the field. Isabel Ludwig looking to take it on her chest. Crisp. Picked up by Karabo Dlamini. On the edge of the box, yes, Knox, whom we haven't seen for quite some time.
Yeah.
Ramalepe, Knox, riding one challenge, riding two challenge. And Pauline, the Glazier, they call her exactly that for exactly that job. She grazes everyone and everything in front of her.
Knox being in the receiving end there from Pauline. Free kick Mamelodi Sundowns. The big question with Mamelodi Sundowns when they have free kicks is what are they going to do this time around? Look it in the 18th area, are they going to pass it or what? We are waiting to see. The duo who are normally taking the free kicks, that's Karabo Dlamini and Knox.
Let's see who's gonna take that. All in a bunch, all in a huddle, ball inside the area. Donnelly goes up, and Mbane also went up. 2 balls on the pitch. That will delay the kickoff a little bit. This time, Ani Namonje. Isabel, she intercepts. There's Tabiseng Magia. Karabo, good take, Knox. Ramalepe. There's 4 players in the attacking third of, or looking to attack Mamelodi Sundowns. The bounce of Isabel, looking for Tabiseng Magia. Cut expected. Brings in the stop. Isabel takes on the player, looks to get in the box, and keeper does well. Well done, Annie. Closing down very quickly is Annie. She's keeping a team in the match.
Credit Credit to Isabel there. Didn't give up on play, kept on pushing that ball. A beautiful play between her and Magia. The 1-2s, which confused the entire Zesco defense, but any alert was always.
Throw in. Throw in. So tense. Isabel quite happy to give away the throw in. Very happy to break up play. Chitundu goes into the box. She has Msindovu. You've also got Mulenga. They need to play it right. They need to be careful and cautious of the explosiveness of Sundowns in that counter-attack. Ball in the air. Header. Knocks. Chitundu. Keeper collects. Down goes Andile Dlamini. Similar scoreline as it stands. If it ends in this manner, it will be a replica of 2025 semi-final.
Copy and paste.
Copy and paste. Kutsopila. Ramalepe. Bane. Kutsopila. Bane decides to send it again up front. Ronald Danley is not going to have it her way. Not in this match. The players out there have done their homework. Here's Knox asking of Magia to give her the space and the room and receive. Kutsopila. Keeper's very quick off a line, makes that mistake, and then just gives it a little touch out of realizing that she was out of position. Quite sensible piece of play.
That mistake was bound to come. She has been getting out of the box so often, neither. And one moment to make that mistake, you will regret it. But so far, when it worked for them, she was doing good.
Look, at this moment, what they do need is the numbers. So she is giving them the added number in defense because she's realizing that her players are going up front looking for that equalizer. There's Knox on the ball, on the edge of the box is Knox. Knox carries the ball, laying it through, looking for Isabel. Ball away, keeper stay down. She's in pain. She is in pain. Anina Monje. Hazel has got to be careful. There's a new kid on the block. We're talking of 26-year-old Anina Monje. Once given the jersey, she's not looked back. Let's look at this moment. Anina Monje for the moment is out on the touchline receiving treatment. It looks like there's something wrong with the face and or took a knock to the head. She is in pain. We'll have a look at this. Knox beating two players, gets the delivery in. And Isabel Ludwig, maybe she got a foot in the face.
In the face, that's a knee. So around the eye area, that's where the concern is, and you can tell when a player is in pain.
Yeah. One thing about women football that you will always see is tears. You will always have tears. We can't take the pain. Well, here's Namonja coming in. She gets it out, and that. Oh, she takes maybe a knee.
A knee.
That's even more painful. Yeah. That's even more painful. So for the moment, we'll get to see the goal if possible, as the goalkeeper receives treatment. And remember, that's the beauty of a goalkeeper. All right. A game cannot continue until the keeper is all right.
Of course.
That is the one player that can stop the match.
They have a couple of players doing the warm-ups. trying to put my eyes on them to see if they have a goalkeeper doing the warm-up, the Zesco Ndola girls. But the who's and who's of Botswana football, of African football here, watching the COSAFA final between the Mamelodi Sundowns and Zesco Ndola girls. And so far, so good for Mamelodi Sundowns. They missed it for the past 2 years, and this time around they came saying, we want to do this. I mean, 5 goals, 22 goals scored, 2 goals conceded, and the signal from the team of Zesco to the bench is that Annie's okay, she will carry on.
And that is very pleasing for us. You really don't want to see any player being stretchered off as we get to see some of the dignitaries. Well, so far we've had, what, 58 goals scored in 15 matches. We are 2 goals shy from equaling the record of 2025 when we had 63 goals scored. So 58 plus 3 takes us to 61. 2 goals shy.
2 more to go.
2 more to go. We want 3 more so that we can beat the record.
Of course.
Kutsopila nibbles on Charity Mabanga. So 21 teams have contested this competition. You've had Ascent Academy from Malawi, Beauties from Namibia, Black Rhinos of Zambia, Costa del Sol of Mozambique, Double Action of Botswana, Gaborone United of Botswana, Herental of Zimbabwe, Kick for Life of Lesotho, Lesotho Defence Force, and you've had Manzini Wanderers also do the job. Kabwe, Chatundu, ball out to the right, puff and pass, and easy for Dlamini.
That was a better passage of the ball, passing of the ball by Zesco, but decision-making at the end of it all let down. They have to do much better in the final third. Share the ball more often if they are to score and delete Dlamini.
Is a player that is down for Mamelodi Sundowns. It looks like Karabo Dlamini. Ball goes out of play, and medical team very quick to respond with the ice. They've had a busy day at the office today, the medical team.
They had a lot of work to do today. There was no rest, literally.
Well, there's a bit of bleeding. Karabo Dlamini getting a bit of ice treatment on the field, and this is how she gets injured. And she gets the swinging arm, and down she goes. She'll be asked to leave the field. Is Miss Karabo Dlamini. Throwing in the interim for Zesco. They breathing heavily is Mamelodi Sundowns. Bounce of the ball for the Glazier. Gets it away. Isabel competing very well. The Pitbull looking to hack that ball away. Looking for Ronald Donnelly. Quiet is Refilwe Tolagen. Quiet is Knox. Ramalepe looking to win that ball back. Eventually she does with a shove and a push, but she's up on her feet pretty much like a jumping jack.
They are quiet because Zesco have loaded the midfield, and it's very difficult for Mamelodi Sundowns, for Biana.
Here's Miss Donnelly, and almost losing her footing, and forceful she is. She's not going to give up very easily. She'll chase at everything. Colossa protecting that ball is Colossa. Goes down to her captain, Ramalepe. Ramalepe looking for the run. Tolagele just getting behind that defense. It's a Bwalia. Mabel Bwalia's done well. Dlamini's gone back onto the field. Skarabo keeper showing her skill. And the coach will be a little bit anxious in that particular moment. So the ball goes out for a throw-in. We have 3 minutes to the 90 plus referee's optional time. Has the team done enough?
So far, Mamelodi Sundowns, they can say they have done well because they are leading, but play-wise, more especially in the second half, they have a lot of work to do. Zesco Ndola girls decided to load the midfield, and Mamelodi Sundowns have been really struggling to take control of that midfield. And the front three of Tolakele, Kasane, Magia, very rare to see them now because they are not receiving enough balls. They are not holding the balls, taking the balls from the back. Mamelodi Sundowns being put upwards, and it's a struggle to get the balls. A foul there, and the yellow card for Zesco Ndola girls on a foul on Knox.
Well, in quite a promising area, Sundowns with the free kick. As we look at the slow-mo, that will be shown in a moment. That ball just over the top, and as you like to say, Ms. K, it's either the ball or the man. And in this case, Knox had to stay behind.
Yeah, the ball had to go, Knox had to remain. Yellow card, Mabel Kuala.
So we do have jersey number 10. That is Mila Milambo. She's troublesome. Mila Milambo is troublesome. So is Daka. But is time against them? Ball in the box. And last touch comes off Isabel Ludwig. Have Sundowns done enough? Have Zesco fought hard enough? You cannot fault them. They've given their all. Time is the enemy.
Zesco will be making those two substitutions to try and add numbers going forward, add numbers in attack, and Mamelodi Sundowns should be able in a way to deal with that. As we say, the referee adding 11 minutes of play here. We had two situations of VAR which took a couple of minutes. That's why we have 11 minutes.
Yeah, I do agree. VAR came in twice. You also had the long injury to the goalkeeper. So yeah, I think a pretty fair result. However,
and to Biane as well.
But hold on, you get extra time in the first 45, all right? In the second 45, how much more extra time, right? Because the first incident was in the first half, the second incident in the second half. Are you saying it took 11 minutes in the second half? I doubt it.
Magia, Eni was down, Biane was down as well. But seeing another player here for Zesco Ndola girls down with an injury, they're making substitutions which they are hoping that the 11 minutes which is remaining to be played will somehow help them to get the equalizer. Let's see how that injury came about. Knox there stepping on the player. She'll be up. And Knox, if she got a yellow card for that incident, it will be a red. Didn't she get a card in the first half?
No, we've got a yellow card for Tandi Wendlovu. We had a yellow card for Bambanani Mbane and Karabo Dlamini. Knox has been clean.
She has been clean. She decided to get dirty towards the end of the game. Free kick is Zesco Ndola. Girls will be looking at how Mamelodi Sundowns are going to defend that free kick, looking at the disappointing manner in which they considered the Zesco Ndola goal. An easy one for Andile Dlamini.
Absolutely easy one for Ms. Dlamini. So that ball is still in play. Ronald Donnelly giving chase. Tabiseng Magia also coming in from the left. Picked up by Kolos Abian. Quickest to the ball is Zesco Ndola girls. Switching play to Kabwe. She has Karabo with a bit of strength. And Tabiseng Mejia on the turn. Keeper's there. Hacks it away. And she's a no-nonsense defender. No-nonsense goalkeeper. We've got 7 minutes. Well, out goes Majori Mulenga. Her place is being taken by Mila Milano. Mila Milambo is coming on, jersey number 10.
Another for Zesco.
And another change is
Just
Daka.
number 11,
Tandi Wendlovu, who went off the boil. And her place is being taken by Daka. Jersey number 9. So 2 changes pretty late in the match for Coach Florence Gachia, not wanting to tamper with much of the lineup. Ball in the box, Ronald Donnelly goes in. And brilliant! Keepers there. Well, we had Magia almost close. Bomanani Mbane, perhaps one of those players that's asking, when is it 90 minutes? And that ball just taken away from Rifilwe Tolagele. A lack of communication between the two players. I think she was best placed, but Tabiseng Magia is worried about when am I going to get my goal.
And 7, she saw that Ennis not in the goal post, and Magia, it was just a hope and hope ball. But Don and Nikki are looking for the third goal for Mamelodi Sundowns. Zesco Ndola girls blocking with everything to deny them the third.
Avel Chidundu, Karabo, breaking the lines, looking to put pressure, is Tabiseng Magia. She gets up, she goes down, penalty! Penalty for Sundowns!
This is what she gives you, Magia, that pace, the skill as well. She gives you that. I believe you will have a second look at it to see whether it was indeed a penalty or not.
This time, the referee not referring to VAR, just belting down, taking the turn. There's nothing wrong with that, I think. Let's have a look at it one more time. She gets the ball, and Magia comes into play, and penalty is given. I think there is a check for a possible no penalty this time. I don't think she got the ball before the man.
She got the ball before the man, and if Tabiseng had realized that, she shouldn't have taken so much time being down. She should have stood up, and she had a better chance of scoring as compared to, being down there looking for that penalty.
VAR still checking Tabiseng Magia in position. Referee just continuing with play. Well, they said there was no VAR. Now, when is the VAR coming in again? Because the referee called the two players and said there is going to be no VAR. So
it came back.
It came back.
But she should have called the players again to say, no, we are good now, VAR is back. Magia, nonetheless, standing, there to take that penalty. We've spoke about her and not scoring goals confidence-wise. Should this be a penalty? Her converting to be good for her.
Tabiseng Magia looking to break her duck in this tournament. Checking that penalty. Goalkeeper with tears in her eyes has got a job to do. Tabiseng Magia up against Annie Namonje. The referee looking at her watch. Sundowns busy plotting. And we could come to the end of this match with the 3 goals. I mentioned that if we get another goal, if it's for Sundowns, it's game over. And here is the referral one more time.
Do you know what the answer is going to be?
I think it's no penalty.
It's going to be a no penalty. because there's no penalty there. She had a touch of the ball before Magia went down. The defender touched, definitely she touched the ball.
The defender got the ball first, I can confirm. She did get the ball first. There! And Tabiseng Magia coming in. I don't think it is a penalty. If it is given, then I give up. I will not be a referee. And I will stay here in the commentary booth. So, no penalty. That's the decision. Pretty fair. And we got to get on with it. Mamelodi Sundowns, though. No penalty. That is a fair decision. And the ball being hacked away. And the referee just talking to Annie Namonje. Just wanting to make sure that it is a drop ball. Annie showing a bit of more confidence. And remember, we are in referee's additional time. Ball is in the air. Header the wrong way. Kolosabiana, send it up. Looking for Refilwe Tolagele. Keeper comes out, gets a foot to it. And it will be Knox that will get that ball away. Pretty closely contested final, I must say.
Exactly what the African or the Southern African region needs. We need a very competitive games like this. Finals shouldn't be a walkover. And Mamelodi Sundowns, Zesco gave us that with Sundowns making a sub, I believe here to be to try and stabilize that midfield, to try and also Shongwe has had a good tournament to continue her momentum and how good she has been doing.
So one can already say their goodbyes.
Substitution for
Parental Queens, the Lesotho Defence Force, Tingizini Hotspurs, Costa de Sol. They say goodbye to Botswana and say thank you very much for being such wonderful hosts. It was a tournament that they wouldn't forget in a hurry. To the people of Gaborone, you've been great. You've been stellar. Away by Matami. Ball in the air. Mila Milando. That ball just ricocheting off the arm of Karabo Dlamini. Looking to take it quick. Aval Chitundu. She leaves it. She leaves it for Mzulu. Ball in the box. And a good connection, header away. Taking it back into the box, and Sundowns are frantic in that defense. Giving chase. Wendy Shongwe's come in for Sundowns. Referee brings an end to a final, a repeat of 2025 semi-final. We say congratulations to Mamelodi Sundowns, and unlucky to Zesco Ndola girls. 2-1 the scoreline. She fought with everything she had. Avro Chitundu. To the people of Zambia, this is no small feat. It was tight. It's a moment that could go either way. For those Sundowns fans, they are pretty happy. But from Gaborone, we say thank you. You also got to say thank you to the organizing committee. And as Sundowns wins this trophy, they will be the team that goes and represents COSAFA at the Champions League. Could they look for that third star?
They are definitely looking for that third star. They came into the tournament, Mamelodi Sundowns, knowing very well that this is what they want. They made a statement throughout the tournament. They have been phenomenal. At the end of it all, the hard work that they put, you know, everything resource-wise that they have, it indeed worked for them.
From the 20th of August to the 29th of August, 9 days, you hosted the Southern African region. As those players get into a heap, they know what this means. As Mamelodi Sundowns start their celebration, they know how big this is. And for everyone who really contributed, from Gaborone to the deepest part of Botswana, one's got to say thank you for staying with us throughout this tournament. There were conversations, there were debates, they were heated, but always with respect. And respect shown on the field. So tight this match was. Sundowns starting like a house on fire, getting the early goal, and an equalizer from Zesco. Well, set the cats amongst the pigeons, and eventually Sundowns getting the second ball through a penalty, and that gives them the scoreline. So celebrations are plenty. The flags go up. The excitement continues.
The excitement continues, and we're going to have a look at the highlights on how Masandawana actually wrapped up the game or the final. We see here a ball in from Mamelodi Sundowns. Ramalepe, she was so good today, as she has been throughout the tournament, but credit to Eni as well, who was very important in the goal post of Zesco Ndola girls. This was the penalty. Tabisa Magia taking on the two Zesco players, resulting in a penalty which Refila Tolakele stepped forward, put it behind the back, a brace for her, guaranteeing her top goal scorer award. Refila Tolakele, who is actually our player of the match for today. It was Mamelodi Sundowns who kept on pushing, looking for the third goal, but unfortunately it wasn't just coming. Magia, Ludwig, they had a good 1-2 there. Eni was the difference between the Mamelodi Sundowns scoring so many goals and Zesco Ndola girls losing in a respectable manner.
Well, it was crisp. It was a final. It had tension. It had goals. It had everything you asked for. As one got to say, at the end of the day, there's got to be a winner and there's got to be a loser. With the 100% record that they had coming into this match, someone had to buckle, and that was, unfortunately, Zesco Ndola girls. Sundowns getting the better of the Zambian counterpart, and it was never easy. VAR came into the rescue a couple of times, did the job with the plum, and in moments of doubt we had to look at this, which is the statistics of the 90 minutes. 2 shots on goal, 5 on target, but 4 wide, equally so. But the foul count, 22 in this particular match, 2 corner kicks apiece, and 5 yellow cards. That's what the story is of this particular match. Very, very tight and very little in separating the two. We will take a moment to go down to the touchline to Nozi and our player of the match. What a game.
Thank you to our esteemed commentary team. I am joined by Ms. Ntebo Ntsietsi, National Executive Committee member, who is going to hand over the trophy to our player of the match, Refile Tolakele, who is Botswana International and also Mamelodi Sundowns player who actually scored a brace in this tournament. If Ms. Ntebo can please hand over the trophy. Refile did score a brace twice in this tournament. And now I am going to be joined by the coach of Zesco Ndola girls, Coach Florence Kaja, just to give her review of this game. Coach, another loss in a final, how do you feel?
Not what we expected, not what we planned for, not what we wanted. It feels bad that we've lost again in the finals. We started on a slow note, and yeah, we didn't really play our game very well today. There were a lot of lapses in the midfield here and there, but yeah.
A lot of lapses, coach, but there were a lot of positives in the tournament for Zesco Ndola girls. Can you please just tell us something that you saw that was very positive from your team?
The fighting spirit from the girls has been very positive, how much they wanted it, how much they pushed. I think that's a positive that we can see from the girls.
Coach, how exciting is it for you as a woman as well to see the growth of women's football in the COSAFA region as well as Zambia, obviously looking at your team's performance, looking at the Copper Queens?
Well, as you can see from the performance that we are displaying here, women's football has really improved throughout the region. There's no underdog, every team is pushing, and I think the support that the women are being given now is very good from all the member associations, so we can see how much or how many women teams are being formed, how many women teams are qualifying now for bigger tournaments. Look at the Malawi story that we had, so this is something that is very positive for the region and for Africa at large.
Talking about positivity, coach, obviously your team did have a training in Tanzania, obviously playing other giants in the women's football. How did that feel for you?
That was a very good exposure for our team. Thanks to management for organizing such a high-profile friendly for us as a club. Usually high-profile friendlies are for national teams, but as a club, if we're able to prepare ourselves in those lines, we are headed in the right direction. The future is very bright.
Thank you so much. That was the coach of Zesco Ndola girls, Coach Florence Kacha, saying that she is obviously disappointed with the performance of her team, but she is very excited with the positive that she saw. And now I am joined by the coach of Mamelodi Sundowns ladies, Coach Zolile Sapula, who I'm sure is very happy with the result. Coach, you did say that you wanted to go back to competing in Africa. How does it feel?
Yeah, mixed feelings, excitement, gratitude. But yeah, with humility, you know, we didn't want to have the same feeling we had last season. And as I said, we started preparing for this when we lost against Zesco last year around this time. And I can tell you, the players have been magnificent, you know. I give all the credit to these players. They are really wonderful players. We put in the work, you know. We didn't just show up today like this. We put in the work. Coming to the game, you know, we tried to change our strategy a bit. You know, we're a team that play from the back through phases. But when we analyzed them, we knew that they would press with 2 and 3, trying to force us to make mistakes in our defensive third. They have the speed. So we always wanted to bypass the first line and the second line of press because we knew that they are not that strong, they are back four, and we have players with power and speed, you know. And if you check in the first few minutes or first 20, 30, we create a lot of chances. We could have scored more goals in the first 30 minutes. But yeah, they came back. But at halftime, we said, we got to keep pushing, you know, because we know that if we stick to the plan and the strategy to use more our offensive players with the ball on the sides behind, we can turn them with players with speed. We can force, you know, combination and dribbles inside the box in the final third. And that's how we got the goals. And we are really pleased about the game that the girls played tonight here.
Talking about being pleased with the game, coach, what does it take as a coach to have players that are that strong mentally but that are always playing to win?
Yeah, first we play for the badge. That's one thing that it's always been emphasized, that it's not about an individual, it's about the badge. You see, every player that gets, it could be 10 minutes or so, you gotta be selfless and give the best version of yourself in that 10 minutes, because it's not about you, it's for the badge. And the players understand that very well, you know. And we said this is a team that belongs at the CAF Champions League, you know, and we gotta take the team where it belongs. I've been saying that, but it's going to take a lot of hard work, a lot of unity, you know, and the players were able to display that from the last 2 weeks, you know, and this is the reward.
Thank you so much. That was the coach of Mamelodi Sundowns ladies, Coach Zolile Sapula, saying that he is very happy that his players were able to obviously show their excellence in this field. Now I am going to be joined by BFA and COSAFA President, Mr. Oabile Tona Babiteng, who is obviously going to wrap up this tournament for us. Mr. Oabile, how does it feel for Botswana to host a successful tournament like this?
We are very humbled, very happy as Botswana. This is the first tournament after 15 years to be hosted here in our shores. And to be quite honest, we are very happy because it's women Yeah, we had to start with women. We are looking forward to hosting even more tournaments in the future here in Botswana. And we just recently got our national stadium, reached category 3, to host all those big tournaments. And we are happy also to say that we want to even host more of these tournaments, not only women, we want men as well, not only that, also youth as well. So I think Botswana is ready. I think the feedback that I also got from all the teams that came here, the hospitality was out of this place. I think you'll attest to that. And I think as a whole, we are happy for also COSAFA doing the legacy programs that they did here to empower women, to make sure that we are at a level that is also competitive in Africa. I just got feedback from the referees department to say the VAR was also done by Botswana. The officials that you saw here also doing the final were Botswana, and mostly ladies. And I'm very happy as the president of COSAFA and also Botswana to say this is a good way of empowering Botswana and empowering women. We also had legacy programs, like I said, the referee side. We had also on the empowering them also to make sure that in future they know how to do all these tournaments. So we also had all these projects run parallel to the tournament. We hosted 8 countries, and I can say I'm very happy with the staff of COSAFA, with also the staff of Botswana Football Association, the ministry, and the owner of the pitch here being the Gaborone United chairman for hosting us. And I'm very glad that also the TV came to the party and everybody came to the party, including the corporate world. O3 was watering our teams. Orange was also giving us the network, and we feel in future we need to get more corporates also participating. And this was just the start to show that we as Botswana can really host tournaments of this magnitude, and we look forward to hosting more in future.
Looking forward to hosting more in future. But I want to know, Mr. Babitseng, what is your message to Mamelodi Sundowns as they go back to the CAF Champions League to represent, obviously, the COSAFA region?
I told the chairman when he arrived that he should make us proud, because the intention also is for Botswana to host the CAF Championships here in Botswana. So I told him I want to be the host, so he should make sure. So he did his part, and congratulations to Sundowns. They really fought hard. You could see for the first time they conceded a goal, and you could see that they had a little bit of panic, but it's the game of football. But well done to the girls, well done to the coach, and well done to the chairman. You can see that if you put more effort into women football, these are the results that you get.
Thank you so much. That was Mr. Babitseng, the COSAFA and BFA president. So now I am going to go back to Gloria Brown, who is going to take us through the prize giving.
Well, thank you very much for some warm words from the president of Botswana. As Sundowns continue their celebrations, they will celebrate into the night. We do take this opportunity to have a look at all those awards. You have a player of the tournament, you have a top goal scorer, you have a goalkeeper of the tournament, and the Fair Play Award. Well, those individual trophies will be handed out tonight. You also have the referees who have done a sterling job throughout this competition, and yeah, absolutely phenomenal time here in Botswana. We've had some good times, and the crowd have been fantastic, or the fans and the people, and I think Botswana on the whole have been really great hosts.
We should be proud of, how we hosted as a country. The supporters who were coming here, whether it was so sunny, whether it was raining, whether it was cold, they were always coming here in numbers. And even now, you can still see Mamelodi Sundowns. Some of them are Botswana, still here celebrating with their team. And how good of it to see Chairman Motsipe also joining in celebrations of Mamelodi Sundowns, who are going back to playing CAF Champions League. We have Gaborone United, of course, finishing as the third team. Gaborone United from being defending champions to being a bronze medalist.
Well, absolutely. They missed out and it was painful. They came back with a bang. Here's the chairman who's been put on the spot in front of the crowd. The ladies just surrounding him in that moment to say, now let's just start your stuff, Mr. President. Show them that you've got the rhythm. Show them you've got the ride. This is a lovely moment. He's always part of his team, be it the male team, be it the female team. And one can only but appreciate such moments.
Beautiful moments. Football brings us together, regardless of who you are, where you are from. If it's football, we come together. Put the rest aside. Coach Sapula, they're also joining in celebrations. They are waiting to be given their medals. They'll be hoping that some of the individual prizes are going to be coming from their team. One thing that is nice about football, Glo, is that you can take a decision whether you are going to win an award or not. For instance, Refile Tolakele, she's one person who knows for sure that she's going home with an award. Having scored 7 goals, that's Refile Tolakele, in 5 games played. And the medal presentations are going to be starting shortly, awarding the referees who officiated this encounter, who did a phenomenal job. Gaborone United are going to come in as the third team, and of course Zesco Ndola girls silver medalists, with Masandawana being the champions.
Well, those are the medals, bronze, silver and gold, as the beautiful ladies lead on to the park and the players are in sing and dance, waiting to receive what they've worked hard for. 9 days of hard work. Gaborone United were third in this tournament, and Zesco Ndola as the runners-up, Mamelodi Sundowns the champions. Everyone taking their position as the executive member, Masuda Stomps. She's to hand over some of the medals. And, the stage is set for this wonderful moment. And the trophy is being brought onto the field by Dipsy Silolwane, a man who is a legend in this part of the world. Very much celebrated, played for Santot, played for Supersport, played for Jomo Cosmos, scoring 22 goals in his career. That is Dipsy Silolwane. And also played his football out in the United States of America.
At Chicago Fire, we call him U10 in BW. There was a 10 that he made when the Zebras was playing Bafana, which resulted in a goal for the Zebras.
There we go. This man is well known all over Botswana, and still getting or giving back to football. He is the ambassador of COSAFA.
Mr. Chairman of Mamelodi Sundowns.
So the referees will usually be first up to receive their award, and that is the committee of representatives. Ms. Brenda Kunda, Dr. Brenda Kunda, COSAFA executive member. You've got the president of the COSAFA president, and also the president of football in Botswana, that is Mr. Oabile Tarika Babitseng. He makes his way onto the stand, and he cannot be prouder than this particular moment.
Together with him is the Vice President one, Mr. Malkane Mbonsetso, also Mr. Huitsone Gadifele, who is the Botswana National Sport Commission board chairperson, joining in to award those who did well. Mr. Motsepa as well joining them. They're the ones who are going to be doing the presentations of individual awards, awarding the teams as well.
Ms. Polisa, just making sure that all the dignitaries are standing in order and in place.
Mr. Nicholas Zakem as well, the winner of Gaborone United.
Surprised he's up there, but Mr. Zakem deserves to be hoisted up and celebrated by the people of Botswana.
He was a great host.
Absolutely. So the teams lining up, waiting to receive their award.
Started with the referees there.
Well, here's the referees going up. We'll start with the referees of the third and fourth playoff. Ms. Chipo Maingo from Zimbabwe. She had a fantastic tournament. Nandipa Menze of South Africa. Dominica Melusi, Nonjabula Nontle, as well as Itsoleng Disang. Also, you have Nwabisa Mavusa. Those will be going up to get their medals. Abongile Tom was part of the VAR, notable there in the stand. Well, in the final, you also had Enes Jumbo, Luenga Tsohang, and Kakale Mbiko also joined to get their medals.
Referees for the final match.
They did a great job from game one to the last one. The referees, nothing much, to complain about when you talk about the officiating. They were very sharp. They were very prepared for this tournament.
Well, in the final, though, we did have a few moments that Ms. Endless Gumbo had to refer to the VAR, and Luengo Tsohang, the first assistant, and Kakile Mbiko, they had a good day at the office, the assistant referees. There was really no concerns or questions asked about offsides or anything like that. So the referees, who will then hop off and on to the other side, and they will take their pictures as they continue to strive. And what a good job that has been put together by the referee's manager.
They did a great job. We have the Fair Play Award. That is the next award to be given. And that award is going to Zesco Ndola girls.
Zesco Ndola girls, the captain, Avel Chitundu, will be on the receiving end of that award for fair play. Zambian team that has come in as a well-oiled machine, coached by Coach Florence Nkatia, doing exceptionally well to ensure that this team remains humble, this team remains on course, and the players also understand the mission. Avril Chitundu, player that had a blinder of a season, and without a doubt played with heart, played with a good spirit, and a fair play deserving to Zesco Ndola girls.
Zesco Ndola girls a fair play award, and Andile Dlamini, as maybe expected, Glow to be, goalkeeper of the tournament.
Well, Andile has only conceded 2 goals. Well, one against Costa del Sol, and the other one against Zambian Zesco Ndola girls today. So when you look at the goalkeeper who's kept 3 clean sheets in a total of 5 matches, deserving of the award. Ms. Andile Dlamini getting the award for the best goalkeeper of the tournament.
She did a good job, Andile Dlamini. She was scored today by Zesco Ndola girls. Above all, 3 clean sheets kept by Mamelodi Sundowns to be the champions.
And the next award is the top goal scorer of the tournament. This is a home goal. Former Township Rollers player has come home to torment the home side and torment anything that was in front of her. Rifilwe Tolagele with that walk down the aisle and celebrating with poise with that flag, proud to be from Botswana.
Call her 7, and she scored 7 goals in this tournament. 7. That's the Refilwe Tholakele. Scored a hat-trick, scored 2 braces that landed her the top goal scorer out of 5 games, going home with 7 goals. 3 men of player of the match awards as well on top of everything.
That is imposing of Refilwe Tholakele. She came, she saw, she conquered. And when you see a player that has left your shores come back much sharper, much better, you look at it and say, this can only bode well for the national team. And for Refilwe Tholakele doing exactly that. The player of the tournament.
Player of the tournament, jersey number 25, Mamelodi Sundowns, Karabo Dlamini. What a tournament she had. Scored 2 beautiful goals, had assist as well, running up and down in that flank of Mamelodi Sundowns. Well, there were a couple of players contending for it, but Karabo Dlamini, she was just above all of them to be player of the tournament.
Well, Karabo, absolutely diminutive, but marauding at the same time. One that you cannot put down. She fought with everything she had, gave everything she could. You're right in saying there were many others. Enel Spiri is another one who put a hand up. Irene Kumalo also put a hand up, but it had to take this wonderful player that has grown in leaps and bounds to take the player of the tournament. Congratulations to Karabo Dlamini.
Mamelodi Sundowns sweeping these individual awards. Karabo Dlamini being the 3rd player from Mamelodi Sundowns to win it. Now we are going to award the bronze medalist. That's the Red Roses, Gaborone United. Gaborone United, there led by Jessica Modise, going on the podium to take the bronze medals. But on your pictures is Karabo Dlamini, Andile Dlamini, Refilwe Tholakele, who have won individual awards, and Zesco winning the fair award. But Gaborone United taking on the bronze medals. The Red Roses, well, it wasn't an easy one for them. They had to dig deep against silver strikers, more especially in the last 45, to go home with the bronze medals. In your pictures there, Untlametse Raonya Dibi, Didukanyano also coming forward to take a medal, and Oratile Ratari, Bentani Gitumezi Ditebe coming on to take her medal as well. Mutlogelwa, and your pictures, players like Desri Kinyadizo also coming on stage to take the medals. A tournament in which Gaborone United, they'll look back and say how we played against the Silver Strikers is probably how we should have played. One player who had a great tournament for Gaborone United, we saw a couple of minutes from her, Nansiba Elezi, Honewa Macha. She didn't have much game time. Honewa Tlamelo Perez, the goalkeeper, the player who retired, then the ended season. She is now the team manager of Gaborone United, and of course the technical team of the physical trainer the goalkeeper coach Khalid Nyonzima, the head coach of Gaborone United, and the team doctor taking home the bronze medalist. They will go back Gaborone United and try to win the next season, and maybe go back to the COSAFA qualifiers to try and win it for the 2nd time.
Well, talking about winning it for the 2nd time, the Reds, the Red Army, they should be proud. They fought, they never gave it away easily. It's just that football is what it is. Congratulations to Gaborone United for the 3rd place in this tournament. You have done Botswana proud. From defending champions to getting a bronze medal, one can only look at the future of this team and hope it remains intact. Congratulations, Jessica Modise, Bayeletsi, Kenya Dichwe, Hangara, Radio Kanye, Ransu. You're looking at Boy Itsepo and Mtlokwela. Not forgetting Tlamelo Peresi. Well done to you, ladies. Well, here is Zesco Ndola girls. Team that fights with heart. A team that is poised for greater heights. Chomba, Mulenga, Mila Milambo, not forgetting Mabel Bwalia, It is Marjorie Mulenga, Avel Chitundu, Pauline Zulu, Esther Mchinga, Tandi Wendlovu, Daka, and Frida Kabwe. You can name them. Vripa, Endless Piri, ended this tournament not the way she wanted, but injury, putting a stop to a player that you'll continue to talk about and left a mark to the people of Botswana, left a mark to every football-loving player. She is the future. That is Endless Piri. Pauline Zulu, the Glazier. We had the Commanders. We had Busquet. We've had them all. Brilliant piece of play. Congratulations to Zesco Ndola girls as they take a bow.
It's a tournament which they'll say, Zesco Ndola girls, well, football, you don't always win. Sometimes you lose. And they lost against the better side in Mamelodi Sundowns. But overall, it is a side which came to Gaborone. They conquered Zesco Ndola girls. It's a team which some individual players like Endless Piri in this team, their names will forever be engraved in the hearts of Botswana, who were coming here to see Endless Piri.
Well, they did come to see Endless Piri. They heard about this Vripa and said they want to see it for themselves. And they were not disappointed, though, in moments. This game, certainly a player that was taken to the cleaners in moments, realizing how dangerous she could be and was not allowed to execute as much as she could. But she did have an assist in the final. It is that moment to call up the champions, led up by their captain, that is Lebogang Ramalepe. That is Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa. They've taken the individual awards.
They swapped them.
They swapped them, as Miss K says. They took everything, and look at the kind gesture of Zesco Ndola girls. They create a wall, or they create in appreciation and a guard of honor for the champions Mamelodi Sundowns. Guard of honor for Mamelodi Sundowns. This is absolutely beautiful to watch. I haven't seen it in men's football, but in women's football, let's lead the way.
Well, women's football, we always do things different. When you deserve a moment, we definitely give you that moment. Being led by Oratile Mukwena Masandawana.
Well, here comes the dancing. The girls of Mamelodi. They come in hopping, skipping, jumping, and enjoying the moment. What a comeback. They lost last year, and this time they came back with a bang, but it was pretty close. They came back with the bang, getting onto the podium and receiving those gold medals. Well, you can start Oratile Mukwena, followed by Madikanalo Mashiko, getting on to the Magia, also Khomotso Musimango, Katlaho Malibana, Ronald Donnelly is in the thick of things, Nontlantam Tandi, not forgetting Karabo Makurubechi, came on, contributed. You then got to go on and look at Asanda Khadebe, another future of Mamelodi Sundowns. And Agnes, a former player, Bambanani Mbane, Ramalepe, captain there. There's Miss Donnelly with the vuvuzela around her neck, a player whom so much is expected. Kutsapila was fantastic in that defense. Isabel Ludwig in the middle of the park was also one of those players that fought hard. Sundowns conceding 2 goals in this entire tournament, with having played 5 games.
They came here as a team, fought as a team, they won as a team, Mamelodi Sundowns, and above everything, giving us 22 goals. Masandawana, it's a side which scored more goals than any other. As you see, Andy Dlamini there getting her medal from Mr. Nicholas Zakem, and the entire team of Mamelodi Sundowns. You talk about the technical team, you talk about the video analyst. It's a side which, even outside the pitch of play, very organized. Mamelodi Sundowns, as you see, the supporting staff as well. Coach Sapula taking the medal. The ladies on the podium, of course, they're waiting for that moment where they're going to be handed the trophy. And in case you are wondering the song they are singing, the DJ did the job for them. Put in Gabu Yellow Masandawana, and it's a well-known song for Masandawana, as you see. Chairperson there, Mr. Mutsepa as well, handing the medals for Masandawana, and very shortly they are going to be given that beautiful trophy that we saw when the game started, being brought in by Bebeto before the game, with Dipsy Silulwane bringing it for the presentations, and Ramalepe, the player, the captain for Mamelodi Sundowns, she's the one who's going to be taking that beautiful trophy that we were talking about in your pictures for Mamelodi Sundowns as they go back to try and conquer CAF now.
Talking about conquering CAF, they've got 2 stars on their jersey, and they compete with even their men team. This team, well-oiled and waiting to receive the cup, is Ramalepe, who is the captain of the side. The team waiting patiently, and Ramalepe still receiving handshakes from the president of Botswana, and eventually Dr. Brenda giving the cup to Ramalepe. She will go to the team and celebrate with the bigger part of the team, the rest of the team. And a few words from Mr. Zikem as Ramalepe makes her way to the rest of her teammates. We say 2021 it was Mamelodi Sundowns, 2022 it was Mamelodi Sundowns, 2023 Mamelodi Sundowns, 2024 UWC, 2025 Gaborone United, and 2026 it is Mamelodi Sundowns. Congratulations to a team well deserving of the cup, a team well deserving to be celebrated. We salute Masandawana, Banaba Style. Botswana is super proud. COSAFA indeed proud. This is a moment to cherish. This is what we came for. 9 days of hard sweat and glory. The result is none other than the beautiful performance that is put in by a team that has really made a statement in Africa, a team that has made Africa proud. Congratulations are in order from Botswana TV to every single person of Botswana. This has been fantastic. 15 years in the making to see live the champions of the COSAFA qualifiers. From myself and the team behind the scenes, a very good evening. Salute. Until next time.